And a very good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the Exchange Arena in Little Falls, where tonight it's a very important Section 5A boys high school hockey game as the 5th-ranked Little Falls Flyers with a record of 17-1 take on the 20th-ranked Cambridge-Isanti Bluejackets with a record of 13-3. Hello everyone, James Hershey with you once again on Flyer Media Production. Glad to be with you. Joining me once again in the booth tonight is Jamie Pettit, along with our entire staff of Flyer Media Productions. And tonight we have a special guest in the studio, and he's been here, he's probably hung out here for 28 plus years. We're talking about the guy, the legendary head coach, Tony Kutcher. Tony, thanks so much for joining us on the broadcast tonight.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for the game. I just love the atmosphere of the Exchange Arena. So when I came in the back door, it was just like another day, and came in. Good crowd and lots of enthusiasm going on, and the JV game just wrapping up with a good game there, and it's fun to be here and fun to be back in the environment that I spent so much time in.
Well, Tony, I have told many people it was such a privilege to work with you while you were coaching, and I'm very excited that we finally got the opportunity to work together on a Flyer Media Productions broadcast. And so we had our executive producer put together a little list here of some of your accomplishments over the seasons. 28 years as head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. There's your career record, 426 career wins. You took 7 teams to the state tournament, most recently last year with your son Dane as the starting goaltender. So I know that was very important for you in your last season to take the Flyers to the state tournament.
Well, I think so. My son was there, but also all of his friends. I mean, I grew up watching them and coaching at times with them, and they were at your house all the time, and he was with them, and it was kind of a special time with just with my son and I. But even though it was just my son and I, it was really exciting to have Joe Majerle and Robbie Helgeson and Tower and all those kids that I could go on and on about that. But it was an exciting time for me. I knew I was going to go out about 3 weeks before the season ended, and I let the kids know that, kind of planned it that way to try to get a little bit of excitement to go to the state tournament and try to push and make that run. But it was definitely an exciting time, and for the first time we actually hosted a section championship, which I don't know if that'll happen ever again, but it was great to have all of our games and people in the arena and the explosion after we won and being on the ice and I know that I had gone to the Fergus Falls game this year and talked to Mike Donahue a little bit, and had brought up the fact that that still just kind of brings chills, probably not too many people are aware, but we were not supposed to shake hands at the end of the game, and we both looked at each other and said, "Oh, it's just a great hockey game. We got to do that for the kids." So that was very important, a piece of both of our. Of who we are, Mike Donahue and myself, of just having that great atmosphere, and it was a great hockey game, and despite Fergus losing, he was gracious enough to come over and said, awesome game, and let's shake hands. That we owe that to the kids.
So it was nice you bumped into Mike and Fergus, and then you just happened to remind him that you beat him in the section championship game last year.
I didn't quite put it that way, but so I did give him some tips on the power play, though. So, but I mean, the Otters were a thorn for a long time, and I think since you're done now, that you can laugh about things like that, and you can bring back a lot of those memories of that.
Well, one thing is you did not leave the cupboard bare for the new head coach, Joey Hanowski, as they have taken off to a 15-0 start before they did finally lose to the Otters, but they've regained kind of that mojo. They've won their last 2 games, and tonight a big game here against Cambridge-Isanti.
Absolutely. I think Cambridge, and I used to be on the bench, and I think I would always watch their warm-ups and kind of get a handle of who they were, and just by their warm-ups. And tonight, again, nice size on them, great goaltending so far by a 9th grader. Seibel, I believe is how you pronounce it. Brother was the NAHL player of the year last year, goalie of the year, and now is I believe in Niagara, having a pretty good season there. So I like their size. They were pretty excited out there. I mean, it's going to be an exciting game.
All right, so we got a chance to talk with Tony. Now we get to talk to the new head coach, and Joey Hanowski, and here's what he had to say before the start of tonight's game. I'm joined now with the head hockey coach, the Little Falls Flyers, that being Joey Hanowski, and tonight is a game that we've been waiting for a while. Of course, this game was scheduled back in December, got postponed at that time, and here it is tonight, a Section 5 game against Cambridge-Isanti. We'll get to that in just a moment, but let's recap the game on Tuesday against a very good Thief River Falls game. Held on to a 4-3 win. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, we got off to a good start, and then we kind of rode DJ a little bit the second half, I thought. But Thief was a good team, and yeah, like I said, that's a good win for us. That's a playoff-like win where, you get up 4-1, and they scrap back, make it 4-3, and hang on for a good win.
They definitely ran 3 lines, and they definitely challenged you in that department.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 lines was, but I think it was just their physical play. All 3 lines were physical, and yeah, it was kind of weird. I thought their third line really came on about halfway through the game. So yeah, they did a good job, and like I said, we were getting a little tired, but that's also because we were taking some penalties too.
Let's talk about that. I mean, you've been riding. We've talked about this a lot. First, second line a lot. You spot your third line every so often. And early on in the year, obviously, guys are fresh in that. But you've had a long season now, and you're getting down to the end. I guess, what is the status of these guys when it comes to endurance and health right now? It
should be good. They've gotten plenty of endurance. So, like I said, it's what's been our bread and butter. And, yeah, I mean, we're not going to change it now. I mean, right now if they are getting a little tired and sore, then we back off at practice a little bit and get them ready for games because we're not going to change how we play at this point, and, yeah, we'll go from there.
One thing that was unfortunate for you guys is you took some penalties, and that's why Thief River scored 3 goals. They were all on special teams. Your comments about that?
Yeah, I think only the third one, when you watch on film, was more of a breakdown. We didn't get out to the point. The other 2 were just shots to net and rebounds that bounced in, and we're going to have to – that's going to be like Cambridge tonight. We got to control sticks in front of the net and play good position in front.
Any concern about the penalty side of things? Because at the beginning of the season, that was an issue. Seemed like you got that kind of worked out a little bit, or were the penalties maybe just in the Thief River Falls game just typical penalties you would have in any kind of high school game?
Yeah, I mean, the Hayden one was a retaliation penalty, so those are the ones we don't like to see, but I mean, George, the one, he saved a goal when he did. He tackled a kid, so we'll live with those. They'll save goals and stuff. I mean, we had a couple undisciplined. It wasn't, I would say, egregious of what we did, or definitely wasn't the same penalties we were taking early in the year. We have to clean up the penalty kill for sure, but yeah, I wasn't too disappointed with the penalties. We got to obviously be more disciplined, but at the same time, they weren't, like I said, like at the start of the year where we were getting a lot of unsportsmanlikes and stuff like that.
We talked about it earlier this year, how productive that second line has been, and once again, they came up big with a couple of goals, and including actually when Isaiah Gendro was in a box on a coincidental, you were able to put in Garrett Lindberg, and he knows the 2 guys next to him very well because if they played all the way through, and he actually gets his second goal in a row, and actually that turned out to be the game winner.
Yeah, we threw the diaper line again to put those 3 together, and yeah, Garrett has been, I just can't say enough good things about Garrett Lindberg. He knows his role. I know he wants more. Just kind of put in a tough position on lines. And he's ready to go like that. Like, I mean, that's huge if coincidentals can happen in playoffs. And we have all the confidence in the world to throw him, Hudson, Alec Lindberg, Murad. If we can spot them in there, that's huge for us. So, yeah, I was definitely happy for G Money.
And let's talk about also that defensive 4 that you got. I mean, they have been lights out all season long, and even you start looking at the points, and a kid like Matthew Cooper, no points coming in, and he's already got 19 assists this year. What a season he's having.
Yeah, those 4 have been huge. When those 4 are on, we're a really good hockey team. They've carried us a lot. Like I said, we've got good forwards. I think what really makes us a tough team to play against is when our 4D can anchor like that and our forwards are going. We're a dangerous team. So, yeah, Matthew I've been super happy with. Colton, Cray, and G, I mean, we wouldn't be here with this record without them.
You got G and G Money. Now, what's your next name going to be?
I got a couple other ones, but we'll just keep those off, yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep those off the air. Okay. All right, let's talk about the game at hand. Cambridge-Isanti tonight. Big game right now. This could be kind of potential for a 1-2 matchup. There's lots of games yet going on yet, so hard to say what's going to happen. But this is the first of 3 remaining section games. I don't think we need to say there's any importance on this. It's huge. This is a huge game tonight, and you want to get in the win column. I guess, what's the attitude going into tonight's game?
We want to control our own destiny. You got to win this game. You lose this game, and then it's up to voting, right? If you can have the same records or not or whatever. It could be your first section loss, but then it goes head-to-head, and you lose that vote. So our guys know. Like I said, I mean, it's more importantly, in my opinion, if both teams get where they want to go, that goes to the home. It'd be if you do make it to the section final, which I'm sure both teams hope they do, that one seed comes important because then you can control the line changes and stuff like that. It's just a huge game. I mean, we haven't had a big section game like this probably a couple weeks. Princeton was our last one. So it's good to get this going, and like I said, it's good for us to play Thief because Cambridge has a lot of similarities to Thief, so there should be no surprises on the physicality part tonight.
You're going against a very hot goaltender and a freshman in Jackson Seibel. He's got 12 wins, only 1 loss, and you guys went up against a very good goaltender in Ben Swanson, and he had a great game up in Fergus Falls, and you're only going to get 1 goal. Is that a concern a little bit tonight, them having the hot goaltending and not getting it by him?
No. I mean, at the end of the day, Ben Swanson, or is it Swanson, right, in Fergus, he's a great goalie. But when you give goalies clear lanes and they can see it, they're going to stop it. So if we don't go hard to the net tonight, he's going to probably beat us. If we challenge him tonight, he's a freshman, young kid, solid goalie, comes from a great family. I know his brother was junior goalie of the year in the NA a couple years ago. So, yeah, we got to go to the net, and if we go to the net, we like our chances. If we don't, he's probably going to shut us out tonight.
All right, so that must be one of the keys to the game tonight, go to the net?
Yeah, go to the net, force the issue. Second one is set the tone, right? We've always said we want to set the tone and continue it throughout the game. And third one, I'll do a repeated special teams.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me. And after the game tonight, another grilling session coming up. So Jamie's here, and we brought a former coach back, too, so we'll see how that goes.
You guys going to get a word in with him up there tonight? No.
Well, we'll try. Hey, good luck tonight.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
Once again, that is the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. That is Joey Hanowski. We'll find to get a word in or two here or there with Tony up here, along with Jamie Pettit. And Tony, I guess let's go off of his comments for a minute. Let's go back to the Fergus Falls game because you were up there, had a chance to watch that. And he did talk about a lot of perimeter shots. They really didn't go to the net.
Yeah, and he's exactly right when it comes to goaltenders. If they can see it, hopefully they can stop it. And I think that's what Fergus's goalie, Ben, did a great job. He was on. You could kind of tell. And but exactly what Ben or Joey said, he saw all those pucks and he did a nice job. And he was, he's not a rookie goaltender. He's been playing for a couple years now. So, and he had struggled prior to that game, right? If I remember right. But
they had a little extra motivation too in that game.
Absolutely,
didn't they?
Yeah. It they, even though it was a non-section game now for us, it was definitely a big game for them.
Absolutely. All right, the lights are out, and that means Jamie's got the flashlight out. And Jamie's going to give us the starting goaltenders for tonight's game.
Cambridge-Isanti is 13-3. They started the season by losing their first 2 games, rattled off 12 consecutive wins, lost last Thursday to Monticello to snap that losing streak. It was a 3-2 loss to the Moose. Back on the winning side of the ledger for Cambridge-Isanti on Tuesday night as they beat Princeton 6-1 behind 4 third-period goals. Starting in goal, the freshman, number 35, Jackson Seibel. He started 13 of his last 14 games. He's had a save percentage of 90% or better 11 times this year. He's played 689 minutes. He's got a 12-1 overall record, a goals against average of 1.78, and a 93.1% save percentage. That is the 3rd best save percentage in Section 5A. It's the freshman, number 35, Jackson Seibel, starting for the Cambridge-Isanti Bluejackets. And here come the Little Falls Flyers. And their starting goaltender tonight will be the senior, number 1, DJ Kicker. Kicker started 9 of the first 10 games for Little Falls. Then it was Veriano for 7 consecutive games starting in the Flyer net. Now it was Kicker in the win on Tuesday and Kicker again tonight. 494 minutes, a 3.2 goals against average, and a save percentage of 86.3%. DJ Kicker, he's undefeated in the Little Falls Flyers net at 10-0. The senior leads the way for the Little Falls Flyers.
All right, let's go downstairs with Kevin Sawato with our starting lineups.
Defense number 10, Jake Brown. Defense number 27, Andrew Elgetz. Forward number 15, Trayton Green. Forward number 3, Wyatt Lindell. Forward number 24, Jackson Jones. Head coach of the Blue Jackets, Jared Zybarth. And for your Flyers, in goal, number 1, DJ Kicker. Defenseman number 20, Colin Craig. Defenseman number 22, George Moore. Forward number 27, Matt Philippi. Forward number 19, Hayden Johnson. And forward number 18, Carter Othau. Head coach of the Flyers in his first year, Mr. Joey Hanowski.
That's a look at the starting lineups for Cambridge-Isanti and the Little Falls Flyers, and now the playing of our national anthem. Cambridge-Isanti, Little Falls, just about ready to go here. Cambridge-Isanti coming into the record of 13-3. They started out the season 0-2. They rattled off 12 straight wins before they lost to section opponent Monticello last Thursday, 3-2. Bounced back with a 6-1 win against Princeton. And here they are tonight taking on the Little Falls Flyers, who come into the record of 17-1. 15-0 start, lost to Fergus Falls, and it bounced back with a couple of wins, and of course a nice win the other night against Thief River Falls. And Jamie, it is that time. It's time now, just before we drop the puck, your words of wisdom.
Matt Philippi has 31 goals for the Little Falls Flyers, and if you look on Flyer Media Productions, there's Joey Hanowski. He is the first-year head coach of the Flyers, and he was the last Little Falls Flyer to score 30 goals in a season. Joey in his senior year had 36 goals in 2011-2012. So Philippi with 31, the last Flyer to score 30 goals in a season. The current head coach, Joey Hanowski.
And also Matt Philippi eyeing in on that number 8 spot all-time in scoring history in Little Falls. Is Matt's got 140 points, Joey Hanowski 143.
Sweet.
All right, Tony, you ready?
I guess so. Here
Buckle
we go.
up. Here
right?
we go.
Absolutely.
High school hockey tonight here on Flyer Media Productions, as it's down deep in the Blue Jackets end. That is where the freshman netminder Cybel is, as the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets try to clear it out. Played down in deep once again. Around the boards it goes. All Jets over there. Lost the puck briefly there as that was Philippi touching it on the half wall. Taken here by Hayden Johnson. And then played out to center ice. Moved ahead here by the Blue Jackets, and that's Green. Green will just dump it in. Looks like they're going to have their first line change. We'll have to watch how quickly the line changes are tonight here for Cambridge-Isanti. And I know that talking with Joey Hanowski, he wants to match up, I think, some of the third line and the second line together tonight. So when the third line is out there for Cambridge-Isanti, he wants to have his second line out there. It's kind of what he talked about. Played all the way deep in right now by the Blue Jackets. We played a minute of hockey here. No shots yet in this one. It's kind of in the feeling out stages of this one, and a shot that might have been screened. Gets by the netminder DJ Kicker, and on the board first and scoring is Cambridge-Isanti. The defenseman Jacob Olson with his second of the season makes it an early 1-0 lead.
You think he was screened in front, Tony?
I think so. I think it was just a shot from the point, just hoping to get it on net, and I don't think he saw it. So great start for Cambridge.
We'll watch the replay here as, there was Avery and Cooper were in the sight zone there of Kicker.
Jacob Olson with an assist to number 16, Hayden Shavilla, and number 7, Wyatt Nutt.
So the goal scored by Olson, his second of the season, and an early start for Cambridge-Isanti. And Coach Kutcher, you always like to be, when you're the road team, if you get a goal on the board early.
Absolutely. They're flying out there. Both teams are pretty excited about playing, so you like to be on the board first. So, and that's exactly what Cambridge did with it. Just get it on net kind of shot, and in it went.
All right. Early goal right on. Jamie, who scored it?
Jacob Olson, his second of the season at 1:10 of the first period. First assist, Shabilla, second assist, Nutt. Olson from Shabilla and Nutt, 1:10 of the first. It's 1-0 Blue Jackets.
Flyers come out to center ice. This will go up over into the players' box of Cambridge-Isanti. We get a whistle and a stoppage of play. And so 3 shots out for Cambridge-Isanti, but the one got by DJ Kicker, and an early start here, an early lead for the Blue Jackets.
Coach, you've got a freshman goaltender for Cambridge-Isanti. Obviously, you'd like to get as much offensive zone time as possible to start this game.
Absolutely. You need to get some shots on him, and early and often, and their DJ came back with a nice save there to build his confidence back up after that first shot.
Jake Brown, the defenseman, coming in from that left point. Puts the shot on. DJ makes the save and holds on. 4th shot already for Cambridge-Isanti, and a good start here for the Blue Jackets. Out to center ice now. Little Falls brings it ahead. George Moore getting up on the play. That's going to be a delayed offside. The Flyers have to touch up, and that means Jake Brown will have a chance to get it out to center ice as he passes it over there down to O'Donovan. Willie O'Donovan with 21 points, and he leads the team in scoring, and he's a third liner. Seibel has lost his stick.
Yes,
it's to the side right now. So he's a stickless netminder. He was maybe calling for a defenseman's stick, and now it comes out to center ice. They're trying to play the stick over to Seibel, and he finally gets it. And it'll be played back out to center, and this one flips up and out of play. And the faceoff should come in the center ice area.
Line chart for the Little Falls Flyers. Carter Oathout centers Matt Philippi and Hayden Johnson. Luke Avery, the Bantam-eligible freshman, centers the second line. Bantam-eligible freshman Joey Walensky on the left. Isaiah Gendro on the right. Garrett Lindberg centers line 3. Hudson Philippi on the left. Alec Lindberg on the right. 4 defensemen for the Flyers. George Moore, Colin Cray, Matthew Cooper, and Colton Johnson with the senior DJ Kicker in net.
Avery in his own end trying to clear it out. Instead, it's Green intercepting it. Now Colton Johnson has it. He'll get it to Gendro. And the outlet pass caught here by Walensky. Comes across the board. Nice little move by Walensky. Shoots upper shelf, but fired it wide. It comes all the way back to the point. Held in here by Gendro. Has it on the half wall. Goes into the corner with it now. Trying to pass it back to the point. Colton Johnson able to keep it in. Fires a shot, but that goes actually off the knee there of Walensky. Carries into the corner. Not out of the zone yet. Cooper able to keep it in, and then just squirts out to center. Avery will dump it back in. It'll go off on a change. 13:24 to go here in the first. 1-0 lead, Cambridge-Isanti on the goal scored by Jacob Olson, his second of the season. Flyers still on the attack, picked up here by the goal scorer Olsen. He'll play it around the boards to Andrews, trying to clear it out. He'll throw it off the boards out to center ice. Colton Johnson has it now, being shadowed there pretty heavily on the forecheck that time is Jackson Jones. And coming over to help out is Hayden Johnson. Now dumped in here this time by Wyatt Nutt. He loses it, and he'll go back out to center ice as he had to touch up as they had a delayed offside, and that gives the Flyers an opportunity to get it outside. Now it's Hansen bringing it across the blue line. Back the other way comes Little Falls. Othell, he'll come across his blue line now. He'll go over to the left side, passes it down low, in the slot now, shot towards the net. First save made there by Seibel, as it was kind of a weak shot towards the net by Hayden Johnson, and controlled here by the Blue Jackets in All Jets. Plays it along the boards, can't clear it out as Craig comes in from the left point. Into the circle now it is, and All Jets will play it to the line, held in by Hayden Johnson. Gets it to Oath now in the corner, now to Hayden Johnson. Johnson now plays it over to Moore. Moore with a quick shot, save made there by Seibel. Rebound is in the slot, and it'll be played out to center ice by Nathan Hansen and back down into the Flyer zone. Quickly turned around, Moore now gets it over to Oath he'll dump it in. And they'll chase after it. Who gets there first? It's actually going to be All Jets, as he'll come on the near side trying to clear it out of the zone, unable to do so. Oath is able to play it in deeper off the back wall. Blue Jackets now touch it this time. This is Overby, and it's out to neutral ice. Is moved ahead by Terrell. Quick shot taken there off the glove that time of DJ Kicker. That shot coming off the stick of Will O'Donovan and played back down into the Cambridge end. 11:30 to go here in the first. Cambridge leading by a score of 1-0. Back to center ice, picked up by Cooper. Cooper now turns around, plays it ahead, has it to Garrett Lindberg. He's got a 2-game scoring streak as he's trying to push it across the blue line, gets it up to Hudson Philippi. Philippi had it taken away by the other number 11, Terrell, and it's played around the boards. Still controlled here by the Blue Jackets in their own end. They'll go behind the net. This is Green. Trying to come out on the right wing side, up on the line. They say it's onside. Gendro had it go off his tape, and he'll play it into the corner. And back there is All Jets to try to play it away from Walensky. Comes in now. That's Cooper with a shot in. Seibel takes the save there and plays that one aside, and then it's Green playing it out to center ice. Back down into the Flyer end. 10:45 to go here in the first. Still 1-0 Cambridge-Isanti. On that opening goal just a minute into this game by Jacob Olsen. And right now both teams kind of going back and forth, guys.
Absolutely. I like how Cambridge is not allowing the Flyers to have too much time and space with that puck, and that might be a key for them early on here.
You know, one question I guess I would have, and especially early on, you're not going to have that, but third period wise, if you're having that tight all the time, it's going to wear off extra energy, isn't it?
Absolutely. It appears that they're playing three lines. So I just saw Little Falls' third line out there. So if they can, play three lines, I think that would help.
Flyers will flip it out to center ice. Bouncing puck picked up here by All Jets. And he got pasted to the wall there by Olthout. That's the other thing I think the Flyers might need to do a little bit tonight is a little more physical play too.
I agree. Yeah.
We haven't seen a lot of that this year.
No, but now would be a good night to do it.
Need a little more grit, right, Coach?
Yes. We always like grit.
You like grit. Like the sandpaper grit, right?
Yeah, 80 grit.
80 grit. They're coming across the line. This is Johnson. Ooh, he got upended heavily there as that was a big hit by Jake Brown. Puck now to the side of that. I think the net has come off the magnet. And that's exactly what it has, and it draws the faceoff down in the Cambridge-Isanti engine.
You know, it's interesting. Cambridge-Isanti's third line, their third line scored 29 goals this year. That's tough to match up against Coach Kutcher.
I don't think our third line has scored 29 goals in 4 or 5 years, but usually a checking line or a line to get out there to some higher energy. So
when I saw that, when Coach Jared Ziba sent that over to me, I thought at first when he gave me the lines, I was like, that doesn't seem right.
You thought it was inverted.
I thought it was inverted, exactly.
Yeah, that is quite an amazing stat.
So obviously he's almost says first line is more of like a checking line against the first line of the opponent.
That first line has Jones, Green, and Lindell. All three are seniors.
I definitely like the intensity tonight, and the Flyers need to see that, and so does Cambridge.
Yeah. Well, you know, I didn't ask this question tonight to Joey, but, which team needs this game more, but you'd think Cambridge would definitely want this game because this would be a statement game for them.
Absolutely. They play some teams, but probably, especially a team that, went undefeated for most of the season and coming in and been ranked. So this is probably something that they circled on the calendar.
I would say their schedule isn't, it's kind of a softer schedule, but yet they still have to play the games. You know that, Coach.
Absolutely. And
regardless.
It's tough for teams like Cambridge when, they haven't been strong for a while, and then, they might not get that, teams that want to play them. So they definitely are playing tonight.
Puck stays in the zone for a short time down to the Blue Jackets end. Comes in on the netminder DJ Kicker. Played away there by Walensky. Good job on the forecheck there by Lindell. And it'll be touched there, and it's going to go a cross-checking call. And this is going to go against Cambridge-Isanti, and they pointed right away to Peyton Andrews, and he's going to the box.
Andrews cross-checking, 8:38 of the first period. That gives Little Falls a power play for the first time tonight. The Flyers have scored 22 power play goals this season, 10 of those 22 from Matt Philippi.
37.9% on the power play, 58 chances. On the other side, 78.7% penalty kill, 48 of 61, and Cambridge-Isanti has 3 shorthanded goals too, so they can put the puck in the net when they're a man down. Here's George Moore running the point, shot taken there, knocked down, and here maybe is that opportunity, as this is Shibilla that is. He'll go into the corner. A glancing blow there that time he took from Moore. And the Flyers will back in their own end. Will start things up once again as Craig gets it back to Moore behind the netminder Kicker. Minute 30 to go on the penalty time, 7:50 to go in the first. Cambridge leading 1-0. Here's the guy that's got 10 power play goals, that being Matt Philippi. Philippi goes behind the net. Got hit there by Brown. Took him off the puck a little bit, but the Flyers still controlling it, and it's Philippi now. He'll fill into the high slot. Passes over to Moore, circle, now down low to Hayden Johnson. Quick shot taken there, bouncing puck. Puck is loose. Scrum around the net there of Seibel. And the puck is cleared out at least, as getting mucked up there was Colin Cray. Colin Cray standing out in front there, was tipped there by Cray, but actually tipped it back out to center ice. And Moore will pick up the loose puck. Moore comes across the blue line, goes into the right circle. Nice little nifty move, fires a shot, clanks that one off, I believe, the helmet of Seibel and maybe even the post. And then it's cleared the length of the ice. 35 seconds to go here on the power play for the Flyers. 6:50 to go in the first. Cambridge leading 1-0. Colton Johnson coming out to center. We'll see some of that second power play unit now. Colton Johnson behind the net. Tries to play it out, gets it on the tape here of Matt Philippi. Philippi waits, fires a shot, saved there by Seibel. Rebound is loose, and Seibel does find it and quickly covers up.
Certainly looks like Cambridge have done their homework on their power play. It looks like they had a nice rotation there and just filling lanes, but definitely knew what we were going to do.
Flyers haven't had a goal from a defenseman in 4 games. George Moore had 2 against Hutchinson, and he tried to change that with a couple opportunities, but could we see a goal from a Flyer defenseman tonight? That might go a long ways to help the cause.
One of those guys that is yet to get a goal but has 19 points on the year is Matthew Cooper. We talked about him in the pregame show.
Yeah, he's not afraid to hit Coach Kutcher.
No, he's a good checker. Yes, absolutely.
And he's not a big kid. No,
right.
Not at all.
Yeah. He's done a nice job on D this year.
6:05 to go. Penalty time's expired. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Walensky comes across the blue line. He'll go into the corner with it. Tried to pass it to General. Too strong for him to handle. And Boatin will pick it up. Can't clear it out. Colton Johnson with a shot. Fired that one wide. Walensky takes it off the corner. Plays it down into the corner to General. Bouncing puck there picked up by Walensky once again. Who's going to control it here? The Blue Jackets finally do, and this is Jones trying to clear it out, intercepted there by Avery. Plays it in a little bit deeper behind the netminder, Seibel. Now it's Avery with it, trying to play it back to the point, and it comes back out to center ice. So it was moved ahead there by Trayton Green. Here come the Flyers now across the ice, across the blue line, and just rolled off the tape there, Matthew Cooper. He couldn't get a good shot and fired it wide.
Well, he almost had his first one there.
In the corner now. to the right of the netminder kicker. Down to 5:08 to go here in the first. And our goal was scored just a little over a minute in the first period, so we've been held scoreless here for either team for the last 11 minutes. Out at center ice now, carried up here by Colin Cray. He'll dump it in. Played around the boards. Who's going to get it first this time? It's going to be All Jets. All Jets tied up there, tried to pass it in front. Intercepted here by Othout, and then he turned around and fanned down. Back out to center ice. All Jets will dump it in. And an icing call coming up here with 4:36 to go in the first. Shots on the board favor the home team at 12-6, but the visitors are leading on the scoreboard 1-0.
Andrew Aljets is the senior defenseman for Cambridge, and you've mentioned his name a number of times. Really strong back on the defensive end for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I've noticed him quite a bit tonight, and it seems to be one of their go-getters.
Well, you look at the defensemen, they have 3 seniors. So anytime you have a senior-led defense, I think that's a positive thing, especially when you have a freshman goaltender. Back the other way, 2-on-1 developing, coming in, shot taken there, getting a piece of that one was either kicker or the post as the shot was taken there by Terrell. And a face-off coming up down in Little Falls End.
And so third line against third line,
Right.
and it's the Blue Jackets with the rush. They came streaming into the zone, and kicker had to come up big.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice 2-on-1.
Face-off in the right circle, draw one there by Little Falls, moved ahead by Walensky. Walensky comes across the blue line, goes into the corner. Now Gendro chasing after it. Andrews gets there first for Cambridge-Isanti. And Cambridge-Isanti's outlet pass too strong. Icing coming up here on the Jackets. We'll bring it back down into the Cambridge end with 4:01 to go in the first.
Between the first and second period, Danny Ryan from Youth Hockey Hub will join the three of us, and we're going to have an extensive interview. We're going to ask a lot of tough questions, Coach Kutcher.
Absolutely.
Of Danny Ryan. We visited with him before the game. He was gracious enough to agree to join us between the first and second period.
All right, turnaround shot there by Avery, scores! And that was a great play, I believe, by Colin Cray to keep it in from going out. He played it down low. Avery found the puck, turned around, and fired a blast.
He was gracious enough to agree to join us.
Well,
Avery did a nice job of winning the face-off, and the Flyers are able to flip it in.
Shot there
a
by
sharp
Avery,
angle shot, and boy, Coach Kutcher, Seibel would love to have that one back.
Absolutely. I don't think the Cambridge bench was too pleased with the call. I couldn't see if it was offside or not, but they were not happy. It was almost like they gave up because they thought it was an offside, but
well, Colin Cray sold it, and he said he kept it in.
Absolutely.
And Cray's going to get an assist on that one. And the goal is scored by Avery.
Absolutely, getting pucks on net.
Number 20, Colin Cray. That's Avery from Cray.
So Cray the assist, the 7th of the season for the freshman Luke Avery, and we are tied at 1 with 3:35 to go here in the first. As that was the 13th shot here of the first period, the first one that got by the freshman netminder Seibel. Here's a 3-on-2 developing. Oath out with a shot. That one sticked out into the safety netting. We'll get a face-off down to the Cambridge end.
Well, Coach, the Flyers win a face-off in the offensive zone, and the end result is a goal.
Absolutely. I used to all the time how crucial face-offs are and winning draws and getting that puck protection or puck possession. Very, very important in a lot of games, especially in the playoffs.
3:22 to go here in the first. Face-off won again by Little Falls, held in by Cooper. He'll play it in the corner. Touched here by Walensky, trying to get it to Gendro. Intercepted, however, there. And going back with it now, that's Pearson with it. He'll play it around, can't clear it out. Cooper able to keep it in once again. Plays it down low, goes behind the net. Avery picks it up. Avery has it on the end wall, bumped up along the wall. Gendro comes in, tries to center it out in front, but only blue jerseys out there, and the Blue Jackets play it back out to center and back into the Flyer zone. Cooper now, good job there of taking out Shabilla. Puck picked up here by Gendro, passed ahead now to Walensky. Potential 3-on-2 here as Walensky tried to slide it back to Gendro. Gendro has it now in the corner, tried to walk around that time, actually picks it up off the end wall, puts it towards the netminder as it's bouncing around there. Picked up here by Othout. Carter Othout now kind of on a partial change right now. Othout with a shot, save made there. Gendro was trying to play havoc in front of him. The netminder Seibel, and the icing coming up here against Cambridge-Isanti.
Yeah, I think that that puck might have hit Gendro in the stomach a little bit there. But great screen there and a great dipsy-do by Carter Otho.
That's exactly how the Flyers scored their first goal against Thief River Falls, as Gendro was in front of the net and made a great tip to give the Flyers a 1-0 lead on Tuesday night against the Prowlers.
And speaking of scoring their first goal tonight, give us that scoring once again, Jamie.
For the Flyers at 13:06 of the first period, 7th goal of the season for the Bantam-eligible freshman Luke Avery. Single assist, senior captain Colin Cray.
So we're tied at 1 with 2:16 to go. Once again, a little more work on that net down there as it come off once again. Played back out to center ice. Flyers trying to move it ahead. Intercepted by Little Falls, trying to get it to Othout. Hot to handle there. Back the other way comes Overby. He'll get it up on the tape of O'Donovan. Now Overby with it. Goes into the corner. Tries to peel away there. Gets it back to the point. Quick shot taken there by Aljets. That one goes wide. Picked up here now by O'Donovan. He's bumped up along the boards there by Moore. And it's Othout with it now, bringing it out to center ice. And I believe it went off the stick there of Hayden Johnson. It did, so no icing, as that hot pass there came from Philippi. Speaking of Philippi, passes out to Othout. His shot there, he had an area on the far side. He saw it was wide open, but just couldn't get the shot off that way. I think it was partially deflected in front, and it's played all the way back down into the Flyer end. Now it comes towards the netminder, DJ Kicker. Kind of hopped off his stick as from behind the net there. Terrell took that shot. Down to 1:15 to go here in the first. Tied at 1. Shots are 16-8 in favor of the Flyers. We're tied at 1 on the scoreboard. Othout behind his own net. Lost it there now to Jones. Jackson Jones on the half wall. Plays it to the slot. Tried to pass it down to the Brown. Intercepted here by Othout. Out to center ice it comes. Carter, 1-on-5. And back the other way comes Jackson Jones. Nice little nifty move at the blue line. Tries to send it towards the netminder Kicker. Played away by the defense. And picked up here by Isaiah Gendro. Gendro moves it up now to Walensky. Avoids a check there. Not a check there, though. Got it down low to Avery. And Avery couldn't get a shot off there as we're down to 35 seconds to go. Back out to center ice. Green back the other way. Bumped off the play nicely there by Cooper. And picked up by Colton Johnson. Feeling some pressure now by Lindell. And then it's Cooper helping out Colton Johnson. And they'll play it out to neutral ice. 18 seconds left to go. Touched there briefly by Jones. Now controlled by Cooper. Over to Colton Johnson. To Avery. Intercepted there by Nutt. Cleared the length of the ice. An icing call with 5.9 seconds. An offensive faceoff coming up, guys.
Absolutely. I thought the Flyers the last 5 or 6 minutes have done quite well. And you were just kind of wondering to see how Cambridge would, they came out really guns loaded, and they've kind of petered off in the last 6-7 minutes. So hoping that the Flyers can take advantage of that.
2 seconds left, and we are going to go to the locker room tied at 1 after 1 period of play.
Exciting.
Yeah,
exciting
16
game.
shots on goal for the Flyers in the first period, 8 for Cambridge.
Absolutely.
Coach Kutcher, I think this Cambridge team's awful deep. They're
They
not
are
afraid to run 3 lines.
No, and you know, they've had a couple chances, and it seemed to be coming from their third line. So we alluded to at the beginning of the broadcast how many goals they had. So that would be maybe one thing to look at in the second period and to find that out. But what a nice effort by both teams tonight. It was an exciting hockey game so far.
That it was. All right, 1 period complete here at the Exchange Arena in this Section 5A showdown. It is Little Falls 1 and Cambridge-Isanti 1. Normally, we would take a break, have a few minutes to relax in that, but we've got all sorts of guests in the building tonight. And joining us now from YHH, that being Danny Ryan. And Danny, thanks so much for joining us. And I guess you've been here once before to the Exchange Arena when you saw the come from behind win as Little Falls knocked off Alexandria 7-6. And how's the first period been for you tonight in this one?
Just as big of a firebrand game as the last one, but really dominant play by Little Falls. The goaltender, though, for Cambridge, freshman Seibel. Anybody else notice his pads?
No, I guess we haven't.
His pads are his brother's pads from Aberdeen.
Oh, sure.
Ah,
Yes, they are.
there you go.
Absolutely.
That's
Good-
why we brought you here.
Good eye there.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
got to have you come up 2 hours just so somebody can show us that, right?
I think the Dairy Queen might be open tonight too. Because the last time it wasn't open.
It wasn't open.
No,
And
no.
they were kind of huddled together in front of that thing. So
You know, the funny thing about
Billy
that,
bars for everybody.
the funny thing about that is I still never have gotten any Dairy Queen from that. Ever.
Yeah, no.
Just
No?
to let you know. No, it's never happened. So, but anyway, hey, we wanted to bring up Danny here to talk a little bit more about Class A hockey and that. And of course, you guys do a great job on the podcasts and that of kind of explaining what's happening around the state of Minnesota. You normally have some guests. You get a coach, you get a player, and then you guys like to dish out your rankings. And I know that the rankings are a big thing around the state of Minnesota when it comes to high school hockey. Of course, Let's Play Hockey does their rankings, but you do your own rankings. And I guess I got to ask before we get into the rankings tonight, who kind of puts together the rankings? Is it all three of you? Is there more one than the other? How does that work?
So for Class AA, Carl always has had his AA rankings. They're going on like 15 plus years now. For the Class A side, it's usually Carl and I before the show throwing that together. Tony will occasionally veto what we have, but we'll usually throw that together beforehand. They've been easier so far this year, except for like 9 and 10 have been kind of popped in and out so far.
So if there's any blame, then it has to go to either you or Carl then mostly.
I think, again, this goes to Tony. I don't want to point fingers, but we all know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Danny, I promise not to ask you if Tony's here or if Carl's coming.
Well, that is the most common things I get asked because people see like a YHH coach and they're like, oh, is Tony coming? It's like, no, I'm the one in Northfield today. So, yeah.
Is it, obviously for us, the exposure of Flyer Media Productions has gotten really big over the past few years across the state. People are starting to watch in that. What has it been like, I guess, for the podcast for YHH? Has that been growing year after year?
Yeah, so this is I think I started the podcast in 2014, that season. Tony and Carl came on 2 years later, and really, we were around about 400 listens when we started, maybe. Now we're about a week. We're about 1,000 to 1,200 a week. Last show, the Marco Bellic one 2 shows ago, that had 1,200 downloads on it. So yeah, it does. It peaks and valleys throughout the year. The Mr. Hockey show usually gets a lot. The section preview, the season preview show, those are usually our big shows.
Most people don't realize how much time it takes to put something like that together. How much time would you estimate you put in during the week to get ready for the podcast?
So I would say going to games, probably go to myself at least like 4 to 5 games a week. And then for podcast prep and time, usually takes us 3 to 4 hours each Sunday. And so each segment kind of takes an hour to a half an hour, and then we get carried away talking and going on rabbit holes on elite prospects and what have you, and that takes time. And the editing part also, Audacity is not your friend sometimes.
Now, I believe you've done some video now with your show, correct?
Yeah, so we're recording video, and so we're cutting a little funny clips that we have. And so we're recording on our computers in a Zoom call and doing that, so people can kind of see us. And I'm putting a jersey in the background of mine and a defunct jersey behind Tony because I have a number of defuncts as well, and he deserves that.
Well, that's a big thing for you. You're a big jersey guy, aren't you? And before we went even on the broadcast today, you had said, well, I don't have a Little Falls jersey, but we know a guy here that has probably washed the most jerseys ever in Little Falls hockey history.
Absolutely.
He probably knows we're a few off.
Yeah, we'll get him one.
Well, I would be greatly appreciative.
Yeah.
I'm up to 52, I think.
Okay.
So
Nice.
my apartment is covered with jerseys.
So let me ask the question: have you ever had to pay for one of those jerseys?
Oh,
yet?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll pay. I look constantly. So always hunting on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Saw some Bantam jerseys in Lake of the Woods. Asked, but they were Bantams.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
What is your favorite jersey that you have right now?
I have a War Road black, but I think the jersey that started off was a Pat White replica, Grand Rapids.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Halloween machine.
Yes, the Halloween machine. I love that nickname.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's a great jersey too. It's
Yeah.
mesh, and they wanted to wear the old school jerseys
Sure.
those 2 years because they wanted to represent the teams of the past.
Yep.
You mentioned you go to games around the state. I don't know how far you get out, but if you had to pick one of your favorite arenas to be at, other than Exchange Arena, I know, but if there was another one on the list, which one did you like going to, or have you been to?
Well, my favorite rink in the state, I grew up right next to the Bloomington Ice Garden, so
Okay.
Big One has a special place in my heart.
Yep.
But IRA, the first time I went up to IRA, that really took my breath away. That was in Grand Rapids. It's such a cool experience, and like they have assigned seats for their season ticket
Isn't that
holders.
interesting?
It's
Yeah.
so cool, and just to be there, and you really felt like you were a part of something. I was there for the rivalry game between Greenway and the first game after the 7-year hiatus, and the rink was sold out, standing room 2 deep, and they running time to JV, and it was a 1-goal game just to get Varsity out there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
So you also do some games for KFan.
Yes.
So you do some color commentary for KFan. How about your favorite press box? Your favorite
Ooh.
place to broadcast a hockey game from?
Ah.
And don't say Mariucci Arena next to Kutcher.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say Mariucci. The X is really fun to call games from,
Okay.
obviously, but you're pretty high up. One of my favorite sightline rinks is Braemar because there's not really a bad seat in
True.
that house, and so you can really see the ice pretty well, and you're not obstructed by anything, and that's kind of important.
So let me ask this question, because I know Tony is a good connoisseur of his favorite foods at
Oh,
an
yeah.
arena.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I
So-
know the answer to
So we're
this
going to get
already.
yours, and then we're going to get Tony's. Okay,
Okay.
so go ahead, Danny.
So I had a coach when I was in high school, Billy Owens. He went on to coach at St. Paul Academy and Duluth Marshall. He told me when I was in high school, Aldrich Arena has the best hot dogs, and they do. They absolutely do. So I would say Aldrich's hot dogs are the best.
Okay. How about you, Tony?
You know, I just from central Minnesota area that we've gone to, Fergus Falls has probably got one of the best. Just a good selection and very kind people back there, and we've always had a good time razzing them. And then I think farther away, probably Roseau. They have
The
you know,
turkey
they ha-
sandwiches.
Yeah, they have all kinds of, and then you can. The kids are coming up behind you, and they get a sandwich and they put it on their charge card. So they have a little box that they go to and they write. And I said, "How does this work?" And he said, "Well, we send out bills and yeah."
Were you credit worthy enough to get a charge account when you were up in
Absolutely
Roseau?
not. No, I
Why didn't you call me for a reference?
I should have, but I didn't. So
I would like to see YHH maybe do a feature on the best food at local rinks or something, and do that during the state. Do it around the state.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
I think that could be done.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of indigestion. I think that could be
Well,
sponsored
what
by Tums.
What I think you need to do, though, is you need to pick a couple of items that are staple items and then go try those, because that's the only way you're going to find out which is the best.
yeah.
So I will say the worst popcorn I ever had was at Miners Memorial. The thing was a salt lick.
Yeah.
Like you needed a gallon of milk even afterwards, not water.
I've had a couple of those bags.
Oh,
Danny, no wonder they bulldozed the place.
Yeah.
no kidding.
How do you determine what games you're going to go to? I mean, there's terrific games out there every week.
So around September, October, I add to a spreadsheet that I keep on going throughout the years and kind of make the list of games that I know are going to be good. And I usually check the week of and go, because it changes. Like this is a big game right now that we're at. And it wasn't a big game maybe to start the year, but and so I look to start the week and go, okay, well,
Absolutely.
Thursday I'm going to go up to the Exchange and see this game.
Do you have a, I guess, radius of length you'll go? You only go so far? I mean, this is maybe your farthest on a night game, on a weeknight game?
Yeah, this is one of my farthest for a weeknight game, I would say, for sure. But if it's a Friday or Saturday, yeah, I go up to Grand Rapids on a Friday, no problem, or go up to Duluth, because I'll figure it out, and it won't be that bad.
Absolutely.
Well, we got to get to our first intermission summary, but we'd like to invite you back in intermission number 2.
I've got some more questions
Are you okay
for
with
you.
that?
I'm
Okay.
perfectly fine
Because
with
since
that.
you've already pointed out the goalie pads, now you can find something else we haven't noticed here.
I've got a
yet,
few
okay?
questions for you that I had reserved that we might want to get into between the
Perfect.
second and third.
So basically what
And
we did right-
Hershey's got a gift for you too.
So basically what we did right now is we threw you all the softball questions.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh no!
So we kind of buttered you up a little bit, like, hey, this is kind of fun. I want to hang out with these guys. So now the second intermission could be a little different.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be going to the Dairy Queen by then. I don't know.
I got to start the car now, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Danny, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in intermission number 2, okay?
Perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Once again, Danny Ryan, of course, from Youth Hockey Hub, and of course does those podcasts, which you can hear normally every Sunday night, or if not, when they get it on that late Monday morning for sure. Let's take a look at the summary of first period and the scoring summary. Here's Jamie Pettit.
Cambridge-Isanti Bluejackets are 13-3. The Little Falls Flyers are 17-1. We're tied 1-1 after 1 this evening from the Exchange Arena after period 1. First goal in the first period, just 1:10 into the opening frame, scored by the Cambridge-Isanti defenseman Jacob Olsen. And here on Flyer Media Productions, Olsen steps into a shot. There was all kinds of Flyer traffic in front of DJ Kicker. That puck gets by Kicker, and Cambridge-Isanti took a 1-0 lead. Second goal of the season for Jacob Olsen. First assist, Caden Shabilla. Second assist, Wyatt Nutt. The Flyers would tie it at 13:06 of the first period as Luke Avery gets his 7th goal of the season. Avery does a nice job of winning the faceoff. Cray is able to apparently hold the puck into the zone, and from a sharp angle, it's ripped into the net by Avery. His 7th of the season, single assist, Colin Cray. 13:06 of period 1, and the Flyers and Blue Jackets tied 1-1 after 17 minutes of play. Shots on goal in period 1, 16 for Little Falls, 8 for Cambridge. Kicker in the Little Falls Flyers net was 7 of 8. Freshman goaltender Jackson Seibel in the Cambridge-Isanti net was 15 of 16. Just one first period penalty whistled to Cambridge-Isanti. Little Falls 0 for 1 with the man advantage. Cambridge won, Little Falls won after 1.
And Tony Kutcher's got himself into the snacks here, I see already.
I had to have something.
Those are good. Those are Joey Walensky's favorites. Those are Joey Walensky's favorites.
And those are made by Mom?
Yes, his mother made them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Gwen made them. I don't think Matt would probably
Nope,
make them. So.
Matt said that Gwen made them, and they are, I would say, some kind of a Rice Krispie concoction.
It looked like probably a Rice Krispie chocolate log at one time, and then they cut it. I think it's a Karen Inez special.
Probably is.
Because I believe she made those also for some of our suppers. On
I
Monday nights.
thought of you right away.
Absolutely.
So I packaged up to. I asked permission.
Yes.
It's not like I snuck
It's
them in
good-
my broadcast.
It's good that you
bag.
asked permission, Jamie. Yeah.
Well, and here's the deal, which is cool because the parents gave the Flyer Media Productions crew a nice gift tonight and a meal spread.
Oh, wow.
And we'll
That's
talk
nice.
about that coming up right away
Absolutely.
at the beginning of the second intermission. In fact, we got pictures of that, so stick around for that. All sorts of things happening at the rink tonight. It's a full night. Jamie's going to be tired after this. I already know.
Well, I'm just thrilled Coach Kutcher's here, and he knows it too.
He's going to be napping.
All right. Puck is down. Second period is underway, and we are tied at 1. Netminders have switched ends as play down into the Cambridge-Isanti end. This is Moore taking a shot, a screen shot there, and Seibel gets a piece of that one. Now it's Olthout. Back to Cray. Has to try to get it to his forehand. Back to Olthout now. Tries to pass it over. One-timer partially fanned down there by Moore, but it's played in the corner. Briefly touched there by Johnson and kept in by Olthout. Controlled here now by Jackson Jones and out to center ice. Trying to get up to Lindell. Quickly taken away there, but we might have a penalty coming up here, or just a high stick. It was just a high stick.
Just
it was.
looks like a high stick.
Right.
It's going to move the face-off deep into the Little Falls Flyers zone. Of course, Coach Kutcher, you're a goaltender coach here in Little Falls. You've coached DJ Kicker. You've coached Richie Variano this season. How have the goaltender practices went?
Yeah, usually in the morning at 6:30. They've worked very hard. We did not have anything this week, but I've been very impressed with their work ethics in the morning.
Yeah, and that's the one thing for folks listening and watching tonight. Tony, you've been back at the rink again, not
Yeah.
only for the boys, but a lot
Yeah.
for the girls team this year.
Yeah, my daughter Kendra is a junior, so it was kind of a good fit when they asked me to come do their goaltending. I started to come to their practices also. So when it was all said and done, I do the goalies for the boys in the morning, girls after school, Wednesday nights for the youth hockey.
So you're back at the rink a lot.
At the rink a lot, yeah. Probably more now than ever.
Just don't have to do the laundry anymore.
No laundry, no stress. I go there and things are good. Things are good in my world right now.
That's good.
So it's fun to be around and be a part of everything, and it's just been good, a good fit for me, the retirement.
Played by Cambridge-Isanti behind their own net. Outlet pass there, not too strong to handle, and it'll be going all the way back towards the netminder kicker, and actually it'll be an icing call coming up. Yeah, that might have been that would have been a Hershey one going, that's not an icing, come on.
Well, Coach Kutcher, I'm sure you've listened to a few Little Falls Flyers radio broadcasts
absolutely.
or Flyer Media. It's rare that the voice of the Little Falls Flyers, James Hershey, would get on the officials at all.
Lucky, and I just listened to one that he got on him about a penalty.
A local official, too.
It might have been. I can't remember who it was.
Here's the nice thing now. You're up here with me, and I know you like to yell every once in a while at some
Absolutely.
officials, so you can help. Now you can be kind of my bodyguard.
Now
or
I got to
whatever.
babysit two of you.
Officials are not my friend half the time, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I knew we liked each other for some reason.
Yeah. And softball umpires to beat that too. So
Wow. Okay. Now we're going a different angle, aren't we, Coach? I mean, we haven't even got to the softball.
Yeah.
You're still coaching softball,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yes.
He's the head coach for the Flyers. So
I've come to the conclusion that yelling at them now doesn't do any good. So
no.
I did a lot more yelling in my early years.
You come out with some dark glasses, a cane, and then a glass too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, the best line ever though, Dwight Nelson. 3 blind mice he played at a section game in Alexandria.
That's awesome.
And I think he got censored for it too. Oh, so our linesman just got hit.
as we're talking about the officials.
So
You know what, though? I tell you what, those guys, they have
do
a
a
tough
heck of a-
job.
they
and,
do.
And officiating is tough, and there's not a lot of guys that do it anymore, and we're glad to have them out there so
Yeah.
these kids can have a game.
yes, all kidding aside, they do a tremendous job.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
It's tough to find them.
Played back at the point here by Brown. Now an opportunity down low. That's Jones trying to put it towards the net. Goes off the skate of Cray in the corner. Picked up by Jones again. Trying to send it out in front. That time is Green. Intercepted there by the Flyers. Trying to clear it out is Moore. Good job there by all Jets to keep it in deep down to the Flyers zone. In the corner once again, Green. He's bumped up along the wall there by Moore. Green has it once again on the half wall. Plays it down low to Lindell. Lindell trying to get it back to Green behind the net. Throws it off the boards. Now to all Jets at the right point. Being channeled there by the other number 27, Philippi. And Little Falls will finally flip it out to center ice and relieve some of this pressure. Of course, they have to have the long change here, though.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
A little
always
longer. It is
a
tough.
tough
Yep.
thing, especially at the high school level, because
Right.
the benches are normally pretty far away. It's not like at the NHL sometimes where they're a lot closer to the middle.
It's a tough change for everybody.
And it tripped up there was Walensky. Play continues on. Back in the Bluejackets end. Played here now ahead by Boughton. On the tape now moving in. This is Shabilla. He'll go behind the net. Bumped off the play. Back to the point it comes to Boughton. Boughton shot towards the net. Kicker with the save. Rebound. Back to Boughton now. He'll pass it over to Andrews. His shot, and that one just went wide. As that had the upper left corner written all over it. And it just missed, and it could have been 2-1 Cambridge-Isanti. Back at it, neutral ice once again. Picked up here now by Nutt. He'll move it ahead. Right side now to Pearson. Pearson, good job there by Colton Johnson to stick it away. Moore has it behind his own net. 11:50 to go here in the second. We're tied at 1. Both goals were scored in period number 1. Picked up here by Avery. He's the goal scorer for the Flyers. Quick wrist shot there. Sticked out of there nicely by Seibel and played in the corner. Out to center ice now. This is Andrews, intercepted by Avery. He'll send it back down deep into the Blue Jackets end. Trying to get down there first is Hudson Philippi as he fell down, but he tried to put it towards the netminder. Instead, it goes into the corner. Now picked up by Garrett Lindberg. Lindberg on the wall. Now gets it to, trying to get it to Murad. Intercepted there instead by Andrews. Hudson Philippi now with it. Bumped up along the boards that time by Overby, and he'll dump it deep into the corner. Picked up by Aaron Murad now. Murad trying to center it back there to Garrett Lindbergh. Puck behind the net and played up to the line. Not out yet is Hudson Philippi and can't keep it in. Back out to center ice it comes Terrell. Terrell dumps it across the line, intercepted by Johnson. Back the other way now comes Matthew Cooper. Cooper comes across the line, that puck bouncing all over. Nobody can control it. Garrett Lindbergh able to keep it in. Played down into the corner. All Jets there. He's pasted to the wall that time by Matthew Cooper. Here comes Cooper now, had it in the circle and kind of just batted at it towards the netminder, Seibel, and it's played back out to center ice. 10:25 to go here in the second. Trying to hold it in, and that is going to be offside, and it's touched there by Philippi, and whistle blows. He gets drilled, and we'll have the faceoff outside the zone.
Saw a good shift from Hudson Philippi, Garrett Lindbergh, and Aaron Murad was out with those two guys, and I thought they did a good job, especially in the offensive zone on the forecheck, keeping the puck alive, giving the Flyers a couple chances.
Absolutely, they had some energy.
Well, for a makeup game, pretty decent crowd here tonight, especially one that's not on the schedule.
Right.
If somebody looks at their schedule, they wouldn't have saw that.
Right.
And of course, this is a makeup game from December 17th.
I think both teams came out and have been forechecking very hard. The Flyers the first 3 minutes, Cambridge the next 3, and they've both teams work extremely hard.
This one gets flipped up and over all the senior pictures down in the corner there.
No scoring here in the second. First period goal from Cambridge's defenseman Jacob Olsen. Flyers had a first period goal from Luke Avery, the second line center. His 7th of the season. Extra puck here on the ice.
Yeah, looks like it was flipped out of there by the arena manager, Wesley Witashik.
I remember a time that there was one in the net and we scored a goal or something happened where all of a sudden we had 2 pucks and we were trying to play, and can't remember that one. Oh, that was a nice save by DJ Kicker.
A nice save there. The shot coming off the stick there of Jake Brown. This will come all the way back onto Seibel. He'll play it away, and it goes all the way back down into the Flyer end. So do you remember what happened to that?
I think there was a puck probably caught in the net at the time.
Did they call? They still call count the goal?
Yeah, we something happened. I don't exactly remember exactly what happened, but there was another puck out on the ice when we were trying to play, and we had scored a goal, and so.
Offsides on the play is Cambridge-Isanti. Faceoff will come outside the zone with 9:25 to go here in the first, tied at 1.
Jackson Jones was up ahead of the play, got across the Flyer blue line early. Cambridge is called for icing. Cambridge's head coach is Jared Zebarth in his 4th season. In his 2nd stint, Zebarth also was the head coach from 2004 to 2007. Took some time off as he raised his sons and then came back as the head coach now in his 4th season, and Cambridge was 11-7-1 last year.
What was Zebarth's record in those couple of years that he was back then? Do you remember?
Well,
do you have it?
The first season he was 11-13-1,
okay.
Then 20-6,
okay.
and 25-2, and in that middle season they had an 11-game winning streak, which at the time was a school record, surpassed this year as Cambridge had a 12-game winning streak. And he also told me, which I believe I knew, but the rink is in Isanti. It's not in Cambridge. And Coach Kutcher, of course, you'd know that because you played there.
Yeah, we played there a couple times. So.
And he said to me, actually has some local ties here. He used to go to Lake Beauty a lot because he has relatives on Lake Beauty, which is between Long Prairie and Little Falls.
Nice.
So he knows the area a little bit. And obviously just in his 4th year, but his 2nd stint. But his numbers show that he's definitely knows how to win, I guess, in the program. And he's picked up 13 wins in his first year back once again for the Bluejackets. Played into the Bluejackets end there by Walensky as he's taken into the boards. Trying to play it away there was Cooper, away from that time Andrews. It's played out to center. Not a lot of jostling back and forth now. Not a lot of shots right now.
Not really.
How would you assess this last maybe 5 minutes of this period?
just there's just been some opportunities by both teams, and they just don't want to take that shot. And it's been back and forth. First Little Falls for a couple minutes, and Cambridge, and now we're just kind of jostling back and forth.
What would Coach Kutcher be saying right now on the bench? Anything, or just kind
Well,
of watching the play?
Just trying to get some shots on net and trying to create some offense here. And, both teams are very defensive-minded right now, and not a lot of offensive stuff going on.
Here's an opportunity, and getting a piece of that one might have been the netminder, and it was, as the shot came off the stick that time of Will O'Donovan, who's the leading scorer with 21 points.
And again, that third line for Cambridge-Isanti, Terrell, O'Donovan, and Overby with a really good chance as they dropped it off left side to O'Donovan. He's just a sophomore. He ripped one from that left side, and eventually I think it caught kicker and went into the safety netting high above the Flyer net.
Face-off going to be in the left circle to the right of the netminder kicker, who's seen 14 shots his way, 13 saves. On the other side, Jackson Seibel, 21 shots faced, 20 saves. Here's a potential maybe 2-on-1. Quick shot taken there by Othell, but he partially fanned on it and was also blocked by the stick of the Bluejackets. Othell tries to get it back. Now it's Colin Cray putting it towards the net, and that dangerously. It looked like Seibel's stick was partially turned, and then it went right up into his midsection.
Absolutely. It was, I don't know if he was caught off guard a little bit on that or what, but definitely fighting the puck a little bit on that shot.
Sometimes you don't need the hardest shots, just a quick shot.
Just a quick, and we found that out in the first period, and I think that was how we scored our first goal, or that Cambridge did. Nice quick shot off of the point.
7:10 to go here in the second. We've had a scoreless second. Both goals scored in the first period by Jacob Olsen early on, and then tied up by Lucas Avery. Olsen is second of the year, for Avery is seventh of the year. A wave off the icing, picked up here by Colin Cray, and goes crashing into the net was Lindahl, and that'll stop the play, and the faceoff will come outside the zone.
Go ahead.
I think the last time that we played Cambridge in Cambridge, if I remember right, they were kind of going through some rebuilding stuff, and they were very, very young.
Yeah,
and I remember talking to them about just the youth and how they're getting things going, and they had to bring up some players and stuff. So they were really struggling at the time. Matter of fact, I don't even think they had a goalie that had played goalie that year.
You probably, the last time you played him at in Isanti was in 2018 on January 4th. It was a 5-2 win you had against them. Last three games, Flyers are 3-0, an 8-0 win in the very last time they played. And then 5-2 on the road, and then a 4-3 overtime win here in 2017. We're tied at 1 in this one. And it kind of a just back and forth kind of game. Not a lot of action happening in this period, as the shots are kind of low. Trying to clear it out to center ice. Colton Johnson throwing the body around a little bit there as he put down Wyatt Nutt. Nutt now gets it, can't clear it out of the zone. Now will be picked up here by Shabilla. Can't clear it out of the zone once again. Cooper with it. Puts it towards the net, but fired it wide as it might have been tipped wide. Another big hit there by Colton Johnson once again, is trying to clear it out to center ice. That time was Boughton. And it's dumped down into the Flyer zone, down to 5:40 to go in a scoreless second. We're tied at 1. Avery now gets pinched off there by All Jets. Avery then got a hit there by Boughton, and he keeps on going. It's kind of like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, very physical.
Keep on going. Got pulled down in the slot. Trying to clear it out. Touch there by Gendro, back out at neutral ice. The bouncing puck all around, and they'll say onside is O'Donovan, and then he loses the puck, and here comes Gendro. Isaiah Gendro, little hop in a step there, moves around, tries to get it down to Avery, and All Jets plays it around. Controlled here by Brown. And tipped at center ice there by O'Donovan, and sent back the other way on the stick here of Gendro. Gendro now trying to slow it down, wrists it towards the net. Seibel gets a little piece of that one. And it's played back out to neutral ice. Moved ahead now, this time by Overby. Taken away quickly there by Moore. Moore falls down to the corner. Played back down to the point. One blast there. Glove save made by kicker off the stick there of Jake Brown. And draws another faceoff down to the Flyer zone with 4:32 to go here in the second, tied at 1.
Blue Jackets generate another scoring chance from that third line. That third line for the Blue Jackets was out against the Little Falls Flyers. First line of Othout, Philippi, and Hayden Johnson. So the Blue Jackets have not strayed from that three-line rotation here in the second period.
One score update for you. Monticello taking on St. Cloud Cathedral. After one period of play, St. Cloud Cathedral leading Monticello 1-0. And of course, that's another big game in Section 5A. And those two teams right now, probably the top 4 seeds in the section.
Like I said to you on Saturday, this could be Section 5A semifinal preview night.
So we'll keep you updated on that with 4 minutes left to go here. Kicked out to center ice. Lindell got maybe a potential 3-on-1. Great job by Colin Cray to knock it down and then kind of kill some time. Back to the point it comes now to Brown. He'll play it back into the corner. That's what will be touched by Green. And then now picked up by Lindell. Lindell bottled up in the corner. Green comes bowling in there and trying to clear out. Moore dumps a player. Play continues on. Back the other way out to center ice. This will flip up off the glass in front of the fans. Picked up here now by Othout. Then pocket pick that time by Green.
Ooh, that could be a trip.
And penalty coming up here. No penalty
play
coming
continues.
up. As it looked like, and the Cambridge fans not happy about that one. All Jets with a quick shot. Hit traffic in front. Never reached the net. And finally controlled here by Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson trying to get around All Jets. Hayden Johnson, who tied up just a little bit there. Just enough to lose the puck, and Andrews plays it back down into the Flyer zone. Down to 3 minutes to go in this one. That played with a high stick. And it'll be touched there by the Blue Jackets, and that'll go down into the Blue Jacket end.
Well, both teams' transition is very quick. It's kind of been a back and forth. I'd like to see both teams shooting more, especially the Flyers. They had a lot of patience, but they need to shoot the puck.
What were the shots?
Shots on goal in this period. 8 for Little Falls, 8 for Cambridge-Isanti.
Okay, that's what I thought. So even on that, but really just a lot of quality shots, a lot of perimeter shots.
Yep, absolutely. The couple times that they did get pucks in the shooting area, they've given it up or opted to pass it.
Nutt had it taken away there by Gendro. Nutt gets it back, sends it towards the netminder Kicker, who will play it in the corner.
Ooh.
And now an opportunity down low once again. Nutt trying to battle it there. And
Stick goes way up in the air.
Here's a potential 2-on-1. Walensky, and a good pocket pick that time by Andrews. Getting it back to us. Walensky sending it towards the net. And diving, sprawling out was Seibel. Then a shot taken by Gendro, and Seibel with a save. A good little flurry there that time for the Flyers. Down to 2 minutes to go here in the second. We're tied at 1. And cleared up to the line and out to center ice by Andrews. He'll move ahead. He's tripped up. No penalty there, and the Cambridge-Isanti fans screaming for one there.
We definitely have gotten lucked out a couple times on
big hit, and now we're going to have a penalty coming up here as Matthew Cooper is going to go to the box probably for a rough as he just upended Will Donovan right almost into his own bench.
Yeah. First power play for Cambridge?
It is the first power play for Cambridge-Isanti as Cooper is boxed at 15:21 of the second period.
Well, they're talking here
They're
about
having a conversation, Tony. That might not be good.
It's 2.
2-minute minor cross-checking.
Right.
Cooper cross-checking 15:21 of the second. Cambridge to the power play.
Shorthanded goals, Jamie, by the Flyers?
The Flyers have 9, of which Hayden Johnson with 3.
Okay.
So 10 of 53 on the power play are the Blue Jackets for 18.9%, 77.3% on the penalty kill for the Flyers, 51 of 66. 66 is a lot of penalties to kill off, isn't it, Coach?
Absolutely.
That's a lot. Minute 18 to go in the period, and out to center ice it comes as they fumble it there, and All Jets has to pick it up. Moves it ahead now on the tape this time.
Nice
Donovan fires a shot. What a save by Kicker.
Absolutely.
As Donovan tried to go on the blocker side, and Kicker slid over just enough to make the save. Down to a minute to go. Down low now. Quick shot taken there, and that one goes into the net. It just went off, I believe, the piece of DJ Kicker.
Yeah.
And the shot taken there by Seth Terrell. It's a power play goal, and it's 2-1 Cambridge.
Yeah, it looked like it had been maybe hit somewhere by before it got to Kicker and kind of fluttered a little bit, but
got it to the face-off dot there,
Yeah,
took a shot,
definitely.
deflected in front, and then it was knocked down and into the net.
right.
For Cambridge-Isanti, their second of the game. It's on the power play. Blue Jackets lead 2-1.
Well, that definitely was one of the keys that we had talked about, James, at the beginning of the broadcast.
Assist
with,
27, Andrew Elliott, and 10, Jake Brown. That's a power play goal at 16:05.
So it's a 2-1 lead now for the Blue Jackets with 37 seconds to go here. A power play goal scored, and they've given themselves a 2-1 lead here, and 30 seconds left. They can maybe go into the locker room with a 1-goal lead on the road. That'd be good. Maybe they're going to try to add to that right now. Down low, backhand attempt towards the net. Save made there by Kicker. Rebound loose. Where is it?
Yeah.
It's up here now on the tape of Nutt. And another penalty coming up here.
Yeah, we're going to get another one for a cross check, it looks like, in front of the net.
And it looks like George Moore going to the box.
That's an untimely penalty at 16:48 of the second period. Moore ushered to the penalty box. Another cross-checking minor to the Little Falls Flyers. Cambridge back to the power play. Second power play of the game. They're 1 for 1.
With 12 seconds left, if they can just scrum it up a little bit and regroup, get a breather.
Trying to play
period
it
break.
behind there was Cooper. Picked up, turnaround shot towards the end. Hit traffic in front. Back to All Jets. Slines it down low. Shot taken there by O'Donovan.
Yeah.
Knocked down there by Colton Johnson.
That was a great block.
And yes, it was, Coach, and that'll end the period. But Cambridge-Isanti goes to the locker room with a 2-1 lead, Jamie Pettit.
They get a goal at 16:05 of the second period on the power play. I believe the goal was credited to number 11, Seth Terrell. It would be his 8th of the season. 2-1 Cambridge after 2 shots on goal favor the Little Falls Flyers, 27-21. We were tied 1-1 after 2, but the Blue Jackets get one late on the power play, and they take a 1-goal lead into the second period. Intermission as we get another chance to look at it. Terrell took that
might have
shot.
went off of 17, which should have been Aubrey, I believe it might have went off of.
Yep.
Can we get that replay once again, Mark? And I think you had the slow motion replay. You figured out that too. Now, can we get that back again and see that goal?
Got hit in front.
So let's wait and see. Here
Yeah,
we go
here's the
again.
replay
So
again.
here's the slow motion now.
Back just inside the blue line. They work it down to Terrell, right face-off dot. Takes a shot. I think it went off the stick.
It went off the stick of Orby and then off of Moore and
Off
then
of
into
Moore.
the net.
Yep. Hit George G. And
Yep. So Orby is going to get the Overby is going to get the credit for the goal most likely on that.
And Terrell would get the first assist, but ping pongs around in front, Tony, and that's not easy for a goaltender.
No, it's a rough goal. So, but definitely had some excitement in that period.
All right, 2 periods complete. Cambridge on the board with the lone goal in the second has given the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets a 2-1 lead. There's still 1:48 on the power play for the Blue Jackets when we start period number 3. And joining us once again, Danny Ryan from Youth Hockey Hub, and glad to have you back once again. And before we get to you, we want to say a special thanks once again to the Flyer parents, and especially Matt Phillippi's mom, Sarah Philippi, as she was one that made a lot of the food, and then some of the other parents helped out too. A nice spread for the Flyer Media Productions crew, and they also made us some nice signs, and then you have the whole hockey team there, as you see a picture, signing it too. And there's the food, by the way, Tony.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a nice spread, isn't it?
We had pulled chicken, Tony, down here towards the bottom of the screen. We had some chips, and then this was buffalo chicken dip. And then for those that wanted to be healthy, not me, there was some celery and some apples.
I had that, by the way.
Yep,
Yeah.
and Hershey had that.
I did.
And then I think he warehoused some in his broadcast bag coming back to the press box. And then down here towards the right portion of the screen, towards the bottom, are the Rice Krispie treats. That I did
I've had
bring
some
2
of
of those back for Coach Kutcher, and we were told those are Joey Walensky's favorites.
We need to get you one of those clickers like
Yeah,
John Madden used to have.
a telestrator, so I can tell everyone, show everyone what we had for lunch
You could
prior to the game.
circle around here, and
Yeah.
here you go, and we had this, and we were over
did.
here.
And I'll tell you, that buffalo chicken dip was excellent.
It
but
was.
it might wreak havoc with me later tonight.
Oh, you got the hour drive back. We're just a few minutes. So
Absolutely.
See, they don't really care what happens to
No,
me. It's like
not
the
really.
broadcast is over. See you later, Jamie.
if you want to
Adios.
come back next week, that's up to you. So, hey, Danny Ryan joining us once again. Let's get your comments here of period number 2 of your assessment of this one.
You really thought that Levy was going to break that period for Cambridge, and they needed a power play to do it, and they were begging for one on the bench at least 10 times, it felt like, and they took advantage of it, and they have momentum going into the next too.
That they do. That they do.
I was curious. You've said you watch 4 or 5 games a week.
Yep.
Who's the best team you've seen this year?
Hermantown has been the most consistent team. Double A has been really weird. Teams have been so streaky in Double A that it's very hard to say because I've seen Cretan lose 2 of their games.
Okay.
And they're the number 1 team in the state.
So you must
Next
have
thing
saw
you know.
Hermantown play Cretan-Durham Hall. Did you see that game?
I did not see that game. I was out on the bench for that time.
Okay.
And then I did see Hermantown play War Road, and that was one.
Oh,
of the,
you did?
Yeah, that was one of the top 5 games I've ever seen in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
Interesting.
that good. The talent back and forth was amazing. I just thought that game was incredibly special.
Was it just jam-packed? I mean, did they
Yeah.
finally say no more? We can't let any more in the arena?
I don't think they were letting more in that didn't have tickets before the game.
Okay, so you had to
Okay.
buy tickets in advance.
Yeah, Hermantown's a small rink that doesn't really have great sight lines anywhere you go.
Okay.
And so that rink was absolutely packed. And I've been there for packed games. That was a different level.
Do you feel it's a certainty that Hermantown and War Road will play for the
No.
Class A state championship?
No, and here's why. I think Ben Dardis will have something to say
Okay.
about that for Matamidi. And the Northfield and Mankato East teams that I saw this week, those teams are just as good as Little Falls. And I think this could be a rematch of 17 where we saw Delano go down, Matamidi go down. I think we could have that happen again if these Hermantown and War Roads overlook their quarterfinal matchups.
Well, and the other thing from War Road's perspective, they're not a guarantee to get out of Section 8. I mean, DL played them tight.
Yeah, and Detroit Lakes is having a great year, and Thief River Falls, as you guys saw this week, is not an easy team to out either. I would say East Grand is more down than we thought they would be coming into the year, but War Road has a good shot. It's not a given. It's not a given for any team to get to state, really.
What's your favorite thing about the state hockey tournament?
I really like seeing everybody. It's such a family reunion, especially when your school is in it, and just to see everybody down there. I love that part of it. I love the pomp that goes with it, the sold-out rinks. I love Section 208, this Rogue Student Section chants. I think that's cool. It's just, it's electric. It's fun to be in a building that's alive, and you always feel alive at the state tournament.
Did you know what his school is, by the way? Is where he graduated
Oh,
from?
boy, here we go.
No, I don't.
St. Thomas Academy.
Well,
See, I was an 08 grad.
Okay, so I kind of wanted to get into this a little bit, so here we go.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
here.
graduated in 2008.
Yes.
So obviously you remember the state playoff game between St. Thomas Academy and Little Falls.
Yeah, I saluted, but my salute didn't have as many fingers.
Okay. Now, do you remember?
Yeah.
You guys had a Ben Hanowski on a stick. You remember that? You had a stick with a picture of Ben Hanowski on it.
Yeah, we had a lot of things.
You had a lot of props that game.
But we came with a lot of pomp and circumstance. We had swords. We had everything.
So do you still have your Ben Hanowski on a stick?
That wasn't me, so no, I don't
You're
own that
innocent.
paraffin.
You're innocent. You don't know anything about that.
No.
Okay.
I
All right.
plead the fifth
I was
again.
just curious because I'm not one for theatrics for the most part. However, when I saw what was going on in the St. Thomas Academy student section, Ben Hanowski on a stick and waving him around, when he came over and saluted you guys, I thought you guys had it coming.
So I will say this: in 2012, St. Thomas played Hermantown in the Class A championship game. The Hawk came over to the St. Thomas student section. They took the Hawk's head off. And started passing it around. And so then their AD from Hermantown came over and talked to our athletic director, and our athletic director looked him straight in the eyes and said, came over here, got what came to him.
Wasn't Craig Perry?
It was not Craig Perry.
Okay.
Are you able to say that story, or are you not going to say that story?
I got
Go ahead.
I got scolded after Ben Hanowski gave him the salute.
Yeah.
I walked down underneath, and Craig Perry was waiting for me. Beeline right for me. gave me a couple tongue lashings, but I was looking for him at the end of the game when you guys came over and saluted us when you beat us. I was wondering where he was going to be, and he was nowhere to be found. So.
See, it's a part of our school's tradition. Being a military school, we can salute.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
See, Danny, my comment was going to be, the three of us know Ben quite well.
Sure.
And he's a class act, so he gave you a proper salute.
Yeah.
There's others that might have given a different type of salute.
Oh, that is very true, but all have always lost in the tournament. There's never been a salute at the tournament against St. Thomas that has won, too. It's a kiss of death. I don't know why you would do that.
All right, Ben.
Well, in Class A.
In Class A. That's very true.
He's quick. Nothing gets by him, by the way.
All right, so one of our viewers, Ben Hanowski, watching right now, just remember that, I guess, in the future. Just don't salute St. Thomas, right?
Yeah. That'll come back to haunt you.
I knew you guys had talked a little bit about that on the podcast, and I thought if I ever meet Danny Ryan, I want to bring up the fact that you guys were running around with Ben Hanowski on a stick.
I don't remember that at all. I will say, so in our section final, it was against South St. Paul that year, okay? They had a kid named Justin Folk on that team.
Yep.
He played for St. Thomas and went to St. Thomas for 2 years and then left for South St. Paul. So our cadet colonel, the leader of the cadet corps, made a sign that said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh, jeez.
Got kicked out of the game, almost lost his rank, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how you got the swords in, by the way. Are they just paper swords? That's what I'm curious about. Like, what kind of
I can tell you
plastic?
that.
All right.
So then in the St. Cloud Cathedral game, the semifinal game, okay? So our cadet colonel, Nate Schwartzbauer, went on to West Point. He's still in the Army, very decorated. And so he comes in, and there's a thing called the Fleming Saber, which gets presented to the cadet colonel every year.
Okay.
And so he's bringing it through security, and security looks at it, and he goes, it's for the band. It's ceremonial.
For the band.
And so then, like, they're passing around beach balls, you know what I mean? And so he takes out the saber and just, boom, stabs it.
The beach ball?
The beach ball.
Wow.
And just right then, the commandant of cadets just ran down and just, "Nate, are you trying to give me a heart attack?" Yeah. So we had sabers in there too.
Wow. Do you have anything else at all?
Well, no. I was just kind of interested to see how that was going to go. You've been a good sport about it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny.
Well, so something that maybe Little Falls fans remember, in the quarterfinals of the basketball tournament that year.
Okay. Was that against St. Thomas?
It was.
It was.
At
Yep.
Mary
It was.
Ucci, and so I was like one of 5 fans there because it was during our spring break, and so all Little Falls, I remember this clearly, was chanting at us, and all we could do was point to the scoreboard. Because that's all we could do. But I remember that. It was like 2 in a row that it was like, oh, that town's not going to like us after this.
Just a minute.
See, Honestly, Coach Kutcher had no idea where you went to school.
He did
so
not.
it was priceless,
That
his
was-
reaction.
I thought he was a good guy.
Same.
Well, I'm curious, Danny, do you prefer to broadcast at the state tournament or watch games from the state tournament?
I love broadcasting is nice because you hear everything in your ear, and so you can really follow the game better. So it varies depending on the game, depending how stressed out you are watching and everything. But yeah.
Now, we do have a gift. It's not from me. It's not from Coach Kutcher. This one's all on Hershey.
Well, I just want to, I know in one of the podcasts you had mentioned about the Little Falls Flyers. They're kind of like basically on sand.
Okay.
If you remember that comment?
Sure.
So I figure I'd bring you some of the sand from the Little Falls hockey team for 2022, so you can bring. It's tough to get sand this time of year. Let's put it that way. So feel free to bring that back, and hopefully that'll harden up a little bit.
So you guys are sandbaggers.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to get him a jersey. Everything got thrown out the window on this intermission.
If you remember that podcast, you said the Flyers are basically, when they were the 3 seed, they're basically on sand. And then, of course, we lost to Fergus. And then all of a sudden, you just basically dropped us like we were going to be off. And you have Minneapolis ahead of us, which I still have no idea how you can do that as they're showing it right now. Even Let's Play Hockey is dumb enough to have Minneapolis ahead of us now.
Now you got him all riled up. This is going to be a whale of a third period.
There is no reason Minneapolis should be ahead of us. We've beaten the same teams they have, and they have 3 losses and a tie. So.
I'm really just going to possible deniability here.
Did you see how he buttered you up in the first period? And we were just like, here we go.
Danny, it's tough to be semi-famous like you are, isn't it? Because there's critics all over the place.
All over the place. Drive to find them.
I was even going to share my Rice Krispie bar with him.
Danny Ryan, thanks so much for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much.
Thanks
We
for being
appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for being a great sport with that.
Everything you guys do, we really appreciate it. You got us through last year for sure.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Enjoy your sand, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, we're about ready for period number 3 as they drop the puck, and it's still a minute and 43 seconds to go here on the power play, and Cambridge-Isanti having the 2-1 lead after they scored that power play goal late in the first period. And with that quick summary, here's Jamie Pettit.
Cambridge-Isanti scored the only goal of the second period, and we believe it will eventually be credited to Finn Overby, which would be his 12th of the season. As you can see, the Bluejackets working the puck around. We think it hit Overby, then maybe off of Moore into the Little Falls Flyer nets. And if that's the case, it would be Overby's 12th of the season with a single assist to Seth Terrell and possibly a second assist to Jake Brown. So again, we'll sort out the scoring after the game, but it doesn't matter. It's a power play goal for the Blue Jackets regardless of who scored it.
Yeah, right now the official scoring has Terrell, but on the replay there it looks like it did go off of Overby, but we'll have to determine that later. And right now it really doesn't matter because Cambridge is up by a score of 2-1, and the puck goes off this low ceiling here at the Exchange Arena, and we'll get a whistle and a stoppage of play. And yeah, it was a lot of fun getting a chance to talk to Danny Ryan.
Yeah, brings back
you
some
had
good
no
memories.
idea where he was from.
No, I didn't. That was okay.
We weren't going to tell you either because I wanted to see your reaction when you found out.
Well, he was very proud of it. So.
Wow. I told you to go junior high up here. We got a minute into this one, and they haven't even switched over to the third period yet. Carmen, somebody tell Carmen down there to switch into the third period. We're underway.
We could get a piece of string and just lower it down with one of those sheets on there.
You should do that right now.
No, she would not. She would not be happy.
She wouldn't like that, huh?
No, probably not.
At least you did, I guess, put out a Rice Krispie treat to him. You did give him. So.
I did give him one.
That's the Tony Kutcher I know.
Yeah. Number 20 for Cambridge. He's been all over tonight. He's
had a good game. He's a sophomore, left wing on that third line.
Yeah. And he's our leading scorer with 21 points too. Down to 10 seconds left. This one caroms off a stick, goes out of play. And there's 9 seconds left on that penalty time to George Moore. And a good start here for the Flyers to kill this off. And maybe that'll give them some momentum going into that third period.
shots on goal in the second period, 13 for Cambridge, 11 for Little Falls. Through 2 periods, Little Falls had a 27-21 shots on goal advantage.
Well, there's some jabbering out here as Green was talking to the official about something, and the official said, just go to the bench and got to be a little careful. They've got the last couple calls their way, and
absolutely,
they're wanting to see if they can get more, but the officials are like, I'm calling it pretty tight today. Gonna let things go. Down to the final couple seconds of this one, at least on the power play. Penalty time's expired. Moore comes back out. Quick shot there. Ricochets back and forth. Controlled here now by Nutt. Back to the point to All Jets. Played it behind the net now. Touch here this time by Hansen. Hansen will play it back to All Jets. All Jets now shot towards the net. It actually was knocked down by Hansen, who was on the ice. And Othout plays it out to center over to Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson with a shot on net. Seibel with a save there and wasn't very comfortable with that save. Turnaround shot there by Colton Johnson, hit traffic. Now Hayden Johnson in the corner. Philippi passes it back now to Cooper. Shot on net. And Seibel with the save there. Back to Cooper once again. Another shot towards the net. That one skips wide. Picked up by Hayden Johnson now. Touch there briefly. On the tape now of Othout on the wall. Othout trying to walk it out, intercepted there by Hansen, played back the other way.
Oh, what a check.
A big hit there by Cooper on Chabella. Cooper now picks up the loose puck back in his own end.
And Coach Kutcher, sometimes that'll change the momentum in your favor.
Absolutely.
And offsides is going to be the play here on Cambridge-Isanti, but a big hit there by Matthew Cooper.
Absolutely. Just stepped up in that neutral zone and laid the whooping stick on him. A nice legal hit that hopefully going to spark the Flyers a little bit.
Now it's the Flyers' second line, Avery, Walensky, and Gendro against that good third line from Cambridge, Terrell, O'Donovan, and Overby.
Puck played back to the blue line, fanned on here by Andrews. Andrews gets it out to center though. On the tape there briefly of Terrell. Back in now to Moore. George Moore out to Avery, off his tape. Intercepted there by the other 14, Andrews. Give and go now, Gendro to Moore. 3-on-2 developing. Moore comes across the line, trying to center on in front, and that puck was pinballing around there. Held in briefly there by the 6'3" Gendro, and then played back up to center. Another big hit, that time Walensky with a big hit there on Will Donovan. As O'Donovan came across the line. Here come the Flyers now, back the other way. George Moore, 1-on-3,
he's
be a penalty. And nothing called. Back the other way now come the Blue Jackets, as Overby had it for a short time in the corner. Colton Johnson now with it to Othout. Othout behind his own net, inside of 13 minutes to go in this one in a 1-goal hockey game, 2-1 lead for Cambridge-Isanti. Johnson dumps it in deep. Played around the boards. Who's going to get there first? It'll be the Blue Jackets and Brown. Brown plays it now into the corner. That time to Green. Tries an outlet pass. Knocked down though by Philippi. Matt Philippi picks it up, trying to slide it. Now down low. Here's a quick shot. Oh, that one must have hit the pipe.
Or the defenseman's stick.
Well, either the pipe or the stick, as Othout looked like he had a wide open net. Back now at center ice once again. Trying to get it out to cross the line is Philippi. He'll send it back once again to Johnson. Colton over to his brother Hayden. Hayden now over to Othout. Othout with a shot, and Seibel with the save there. Down to 12 minutes to go in this one. Puck comes out. Quick shot taken there by Philippi, and that hit a stick and goes out. And faceoff should be inside the zone.
I think it was a pipe because I looked down at Seibel and he had reached down and tapped his pipe down like, thank you. So,
Coach, the Flyers' first line has 60% of the goals this season. So anytime they come into a game, you've got an opponent that's putting together a defensive plan. And I think Cambridge has done a good job making it difficult for them to come through the neutral zone.
Absolutely. So they've struggled there. I think most of the chances have come from our second line.
Alec Lindbergh, that third line out there right now with Garrett Lindbergh and Hudson Philippi. Philippi throws his body around there on Pearson to knock him off the puck. And offsides coming up here on Cambridge-Isanti with 11:37 to go here in the third. Even though we still have the second up there, it's 2-1 Cambridge.
It was 1-1 after one. Cambridge's first period goal came from the defenseman Jacob Olsen. The Flyers' first period goal from Luke Avery. One goal in the second, late in period two, 16:05. We believe it went off of Finn Overby on the power play, and if so, it's his 12th of the season, giving Cambridge a 2-1 lead. They continue with that 2-1 lead with 11 and a half minutes to go in the third.
I know it's very cliche to say, but the next goal is going to be a big difference maker here. If the Flyers can get it tied up, they got a tie game. If Cambridge gets it to 2-goal lead, and that might be enough, the way that Cambridge-Isanti's been playing. Lots of time left in this one, and a 1-goal lead for the Blue Jackets as the visitors coming in here and trying to get a win. Puck picked up here now and cleared to the line. Out to center ice. It's carried up here by Shabilla. Moved ahead now over to Pearson. Pearson trying to get around there more. Moore does a good job of rubbing him out into the corner, and Walensky will play it off the back wall. Nutt now plays it to the line. Shot there way wide that time by Andrews. Played behind the net by Pearson. Centered it out. There's about 4 Flyers there. And it'll be picked up and flipped out to center ice by Cray. Hops over the stick that time of Brown. He has to go back. And instead we'll have a line change coming up here on the Flyers. And also it looks like a line change here for Cambridge-Isanti. First line out there for Little Falls, and intercepted here by Hayden Johnson. He'll just tip it across the line. Picked up right back here by Brown. Moves it ahead there to Terrell. Going out as kicker to try to give it off there to Cooper, who plays it into the corner to Hayden Johnson. Now moved ahead to Colton Johnson. The outlet pass too far for Philippi. Does track it down in the skates now. Oathout. Oathout now has it along the wall. Centers it towards the net. That's sticked out of there by Seibel. Played in the corner to the left to Seibel, trying to get that puck first as Philippi. Instead, it's nearly intercepted there by Oathout. Philippi now has it in the corner, bumped off the play there by Terrell. Coming out of the corner, quick shot, diving down there is Hayden Johnson as he was partially hooked. Play continues on.
Boy, Matt Philippi really seems like he's slow right now. He got banged around in the corner on the far side of the Cambridge zone.
One of the Cambridge-Isanti players on top of Hayden Johnson. And played out to center ice. Colton Johnson lost a stick there, and Terrell got pulled down. Play continues on with 9:15 to go here in the third. And a 2-1 lead for the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets. They had a 1-0 lead, tied up 1-1, and then took the 2-1 lead late on the power play. And that's the difference in this one right now. Played to the line, dumped in just to the left of the netminder kicker, cleared out to center by the Flyers. This won't reach the line, no icing. They'll wave that off. Going back to pick up is Andrews. Andrews now, cross-side pass, knocked down by a Flyer, picked up by Walensky, got to Gendro, and offside they say, as Gendro got hit after the whistle there by All Jets with 8:34 to go in the game. 2-1 Cambridge.
Not a lot of time, not a lot of space for the Little Falls Flyers right now.
Cambridge is doing an excellent job keeping us a little off our game a little bit.
Shots, though, favor the Flyers 35-24, but Jackson Seibel, 34 saves. He's coming up big tonight.
And here comes the Flyers' first line. Oathout, Hayden Johnson, Matt Philippi. Philippi was kind of roughed up on that last shift. We'll see how he does on this shift for the Flyers.
Philippi tries to play it in. Oathout pinched up along the boards. Loose puck picked up here by Green. Green moves it ahead to Jones. And offsides, they have to touch up. And that'll give the Flyers an opportunity to play it up to center.
Good pass.
Here now Philippi with it. Comes across the line, trying to get it to Moore. He was blocked there at the slot. Loose puck. Who's going to control it? It'll be Philippi. Pinched up along the wall that time by Andrews. Tripped up there that time. Set it out in front. Score! Hayden Johnson has made it a 2-2 score. And Cambridge is totally upset right now because they feel there should have been a penalty. And slamming his stick on the center ice is Jackson Jones as he was tripped up behind the net, as we see in the replay here.
Well, there's a battle along the end boards behind Seibel. Philippi passes it out, and Hayden Johnson was between the hash marks, fired it past Seibel to tie the game at 2. Here's another look at the replay on Flyer Media Productions. We're tied at 2.
And you could see behind there was a hook there. Well, you can see right here that it was Jones on the slow motion here. It was Philippi that might have got a piece of him right there.
He went down. Philippi continues on, and Hayden Johnson, right place, right time to tie the game at 2.
Hayden Johnson with an assist to number 27, Matt Philippi. That's just
So Johnson scoring the goal, his 22nd, saved there by Seibel. That gives him now 96 points in his career. So he's only 4 points shy of becoming the 23rd member of the Flyer 100-point club.
The Blue Jackets bench exploded like a volcano. They were furious. It was
Big
not a
hit
penalty.
there that time between Brown putting out Gendro. Play continues on. Tipped in front there that time of Seibel, and this one is getting interesting.
Look at Gendro
Cooper
mixing it up in front of the net with Seibel.
held in here by Walensky. Walensky with a shot, save made there. Rebound in front. Avery tried to get it. Now Cooper with a blast. Held in here by Colton Johnson. His shot. That one kicked it out of there just enough by Seibel. And out to center ice it comes. 6:50 to go in this one. Hopefully you've grabbed your popcorn and don't want to leave the TV now.
No, not at all. Cambridge needs to get their composure back a little bit if they're going to have any chance to get back into this game. Flyers are taking it to them.
Terrell comes around, taken away there by Moore. Back the other way, now comes Hayden Johnson, the goal scorer. Johnson trying to get around the good check that time there by Andrews. And the puck goes into the corner to the right of the netminder, Seibel. And it'll be cleared up into the crowd. We get a whistle and a stoppage of play. And one of our camera operators over there in Flyer Media Productions got the puck and throws it out.
Official scoring on the game-tying goal at 9 minutes of the third period. 22nd goal of the season for Hayden Johnson. Single assist, Matt Philippi. Johnson from Philippi, the 9-minute mark of the third. We're tied at 2.
Draw one there by Little Falls. Oath out turnaround shot. Seibel save. Rebound. Score! Matt Philippi has given the Flyers a 3-2 lead.
Here's the replay on Flyer Media Productions. Othout controlled the faceoff. Othout takes the shot. Then Philippi's there to clean it up to give the Flyers a 3-2 lead. Another offensive zone faceoff win, Coach Kutcher, for the Flyers.
Absolutely, those great faceoffs. Not a real good rebound by Seibel.
And a goal scored by Matt Philippi.
For the Flyers, number 27, Matt Philippi.
30.
With an assist to number 18, Carter Othout. And number 19, Hayden Johnson.
And Carter Othout, Hayden Johnson. And that goal scored by Philippi is 32nd of the season. And the Flyers now have their first lead of the night at 3-2 with 5:40 to go in the game. This one's far from over yet, though. Shots are 43-24 in favor of the Flyers. Cambridge-Isanti playing it out to center ice. And across the line there, touched briefly there by Green, and the Flyers will send it back all the way down. Icing coming up here with 5:20 to go. Tell us who scored that goal.
10:52 of the third period. The Little Falls Flyers take the lead 3-2. 32nd goal of the season for Matt Philippi. First assist, Carter Othout. Second assist, Hayden Johnson. Philippi from Othout and Johnson. 10:52 of the third. It's 3-2 Little Falls.
St. Cloud Cathedral leading Monticello 3-1 out in the third period, and 3-2 here. The home run pass nearly connected there. Puck actually is lost there, picked up by Olaf.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how, and Seibel I think is hurt. Seibel is hurt, or maybe the blade of his skate came off.
He's wounded. He seems like he's wounded.
And they should blow the whistle here. I'm
Yep.
not sure why he didn't just like push the net off.
He seems as if he's wounded.
And Boy, I'm hoping that it's nothing more than just not like a cut or something. The way he's reacting, though, is...
He came right back to the Cambridge-Isanti Bluejacket
very interesting.
bench.
I mean, you always worry about a skate blade around a goaltender sometime, but almost looks like maybe around his back is the backup goaltender.
Well,
is
Trent the
gonna be going
trainer.
in.
Trent the trainer's there. The backup goaltender,
Josh Hosch?
Jason
Or
Hosch.
Jason Hosch, excuse me.
And he will need to be called into action
And
for the
Hosch-
Blue Jackets with 4:59 remaining in the third period. And it's 3-2 Little Falls.
Hosch is 1-0 on the year. Goals against of 3 and a save percentage of 81.8. He gets no warm-up whatsoever, and he's in net right now. And the Flyers leading 3-2 with 4:50 to go. We'll try to see what's happening down in the bench here with the starting goaltender Seibel. Shot taken there, whistled wide there by Andrews. Puck picked up here now by Moore. He'll go back in his own end. Moore picks up the loose puck, tries to move it ahead. Little give and go. Johnson to Moore. Moore now trying to weave his way through 3 defenders. Moore sends it out. Hoach now in the net here. Once again for Cambridge-Isanti as there is an injury to Seibel. Played out at neutral ice, picked up here by Walensky. And it'll be dumped in, no icing. Hosch goes back and nearly taken away there by Gendro. Puck comes to the side of the net. Walensky had it briefly, and it's controlled here now by Terrell. Inside of 4 minutes to go in this one, and the atmosphere just kind of stalled after the injury there to Seibel. The intensity was there, and then after that injury, everybody just kind of went hush.
But coach, the Flyers can't let up. They got to take advantage of this.
No, this is where you put it all the way to the
And it
the
appears
ground,
that
isn't
he
it?
might be coming back in, so we'll see.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it'll probably be on the next whistle. You probably
Right.
don't want to do it on a chain, unless you. And I suppose unless the play's down on the other end, you could do that.
It's a little risky.
It is
isn't
a little
Coach?
risky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just depends on how much.
Cooper! Green took the worst of it.
And Cooper is a little bit shaken up too on that
Holy
one.
Smokes!
Matt Cooper, big hit on Green. 3:05 to go in this one. Not for the faint of heart, Jamie Pettit.
Blood pressure's way up on both sides.
Up at center ice here, now controlled here by Philippi. Shot towards Hosch, and he gloves it down. And I think the coach probably said, stop it so we can change the goalie back in.
And it looks like Seibel will return with 2:48 remaining. And it looks like Hosch, one shot, one save.
I don't know if he's going to return. He's just out skating right now. I don't think
They're going to call a timeout. Cambridge-Isanti's going to call a timeout, and I think they're going to evaluate whether Seibel can go back into the Blue Jackets net.
So 2:48 to go, and he's skating around there, but he's very ginger right now, isn't he? He's very gingerly kind of skating around, and I don't want to kind of say what he has, but the way he's stretching his back and forth, he might have tweaked something. And obviously as a goaltender, you're moving all over the place, so you're using all sorts of muscles. And
well, Trent, the trainer's out there, and I think he just gave him the nod that he was maybe going to stay in. So
looks like it's his lower back.
That's what I would say too.
And so a good timeout for Cambridge. They can kind of settle down a little bit as Little Falls scored 2 goals in 1 minute and 52 seconds. You couldn't keep that first line at bay the entire night. And suddenly Johnson scores and Philippi scores, and the Flyers have the lead.
Absolutely. They kind of came alive there for a couple minutes. I thought Cambridge lost their composure a little bit.
They did.
And need to settle down a little bit.
Well, I know they were very upset about not a penalty being called behind that.
Absolutely.
But as a coach, you know, a lot of times calls don't go your way, and that's where then you got to.
Absolutely.
You've had a few of those, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And you got to get your crew back together.
You can't worry about one thing. I mean, it was almost like they lost their composure for that penalty, and then just kind of couldn't regain it, and then the Flyers go back. And
Seibel is not going to return.
No.
It's going to be Hosch.
Hosch is going to stay in there. Yeah, the way Seibel was kind of skating around, it didn't look good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and of course, he's only probably going to be in for another minute or so, and then they'll pull him for an
Right.
extra attacker,
Right.
if they can.
So 2:40 to go in this one. Hosch still in net as he came in relief of Seibel due to an injury. And the timeout has been used now for Cambridge. Here's a chance now. Shot taken. Glove saved by Hosch.
Absolutely a great save by a goalie that just came in cold off the bench.
As Othout was hoping he could make it 4-2, but Hosch said not so fast.
Johnson was able to swipe the puck, set up Othout, and Hosch makes a game-saving save for the Blue Jackets.
Absolutely. He put that one in a 2-goal lead, and that's going to be tough to come back from.
Right.
Still a 1-goal lead, though, for Little Falls. One picked up once again. Othout says, I want another shot at this. And here he clanked it.
Another save.
Good opportunity there for Othout again. Puck now picked up here by Lindell. Centered out, but right to the stick of Carter Othout. I think Carter's played very well tonight.
Yeah, he's been very noticeable out there tonight.
Absolutely.
So-
Hayden Johnson stealing her way. Hayden Johnson now.
It's a slash. It's a slash on Cambridge. Brown's going to go to the penalty box.
Not going to be happy if you're a Cambridge fan.
Brown slashed Hayden Johnson. It's going to be a penalty to the Blue Jackets at 15:10 of the third period. As Brown will be ushered to the penalty box. Slashing minor, Flyer power play. Little Falls' second power play of the game. They are 0 for 1 with the man advantage, and I believe Joey Hanowski now will exercise his 1-minute timeout on the Flyer bench.
Absolutely. It's been
Now-
all Little Falls the last about 8 minutes. So.
Now, the only thing I guess I'd be concerned about that is now you give Seibel another opportunity to see, but
I don't
think
honestly
he's
don't
gonna
think
come
it's going to
back in.
matter, Coach, to you, because they're going to end up pulling the goaltender for the extra attacker.
Yeah, well, with a penalty now, it's pretty tough. I mean, they're going to have to do it to go 5-on-5, but it's a very tough task to get a goal 5-on-5 just without a goalie.
let me ask you in the situation, if you were the head coach for the Flyers, would you have taken a timeout there or not?
Oh, I think he just wants to rest that top line.
Okay.
They've been out there quite a bit the last couple minutes. They're up by 1 goal. They got to talk a little bit about what they're going to do if they pull the goalie and how they want to work that.
And obviously they have an offensive zone faceoff. They did a
Right.
good job with offensive zone faceoffs tonight. And if they can get one on the power play early, it's going to be lights out.
Absolutely, you know. And you know, sometimes you just want to be defensive a little bit too, and they're going to have to make a decision on how they're going to work the last minute 50.
So is this where a place now where the Flyers have to be careful they don't take a penalty because
Right.
the officials are
Yeah.
going to be definitely looking for something?
Well, I mean, that's always the case. I mean, when you give a penalty to the other team with a little bit of time left in a close game like that.
And of course, you got to believe that.
Boy, they're taking an extended time, and the Cambridge bench not happy as the Flyers no hurry to get to the faceoff dot.
Well, Cambridge-Isanti has probably got to roll the dice a little bit here and take some chances now.
They might have to fly somebody.
Minute 50 to go. Cambridge does win the draw, but keeping it in the zone for a short time there was Cray. Back the other way now. They've got 3 shorthanded goals on the season. This one kicked out by Kicker there as it was sent towards the net there by Overby. In the corner now, bumped off there is O'Donnell, and trying to play it out to center ice is Othout. Hosch still in the net. As there might have been a good chance there to maybe pull him out as they had the possession down
He
deep.
was watching the bench closely, but they didn't call for him.
See, they
They're
call for him
offsides.
now, but they're offsides. And that's going to put Hosch back in the net as the faceoff's going to come outside the Flyer blue line with 1:18 to go here. 1:29 to go on the penalty time to Jake Brown, so that's really academic unless the Flyers score, but then it's 4-2.
So Hosch goes back into the net, face-off just outside the Flyer blue line. Still a Flyer power play.
And hard to believe, I just looked up 49 Flyer shots.
22 in this period.
Wow.
Right.
Hosch still waiting. He's not going to the bench yet as it plays out at center ice. Terrell has it. Puck taken away there. Played back at center. Picked up by all Jets. And it'll be dumped in. Now Hosch goes to
And
the
here he
box
comes.
once again. And intercepted shot. Score! Oh no.
Oh no, he's right.
Will Donovan somehow got that over the netminder, DJ Kicker, and we're tied at 3.
Well, Kicker was able to push it to the end boards. The Flyers tried to go D to D, and O'Donovan stepped in between that D to D pass and was able to tuck it around the goalpost to tie the game at 3. It's a shorthanded goal for Cambridge-Isanti with the netminder pulled.
I think Kicker had his stick the wrong way, and when he came around there, it looked like it went off his stick and right over him.
Flyers still have a power play.
Yes, they do.
For a minute, 48
Blue
seconds.
Jackets number 20, Will O'Donovan. A shorthanded goal, unassisted.
So O'Donovan scores the goal. It's his 12th of the year. 40 seconds left to go here in the game, tied at 3. Flyers now on the power play here for 34 seconds. And Hosh is in the net. He's only seen a couple of shots so far. Here's Johnson, shot on net, save made, and trying to dig at it that time. In front there was Cray.
Colin
Save
Cray.
made by Hosh, and he holds on with 25.6 seconds.
Well, Coach, you make a good point. The Flyers had to kind of settle down there and realize they're still on the power play.
Right. I'm going to go out on a. I think Matt Phillippe's going to score.
Okay.
If they can get Matthew the puck over there.
Okay.
Goalie's been down most of the time. I think he's going to roof it.
That's the call, huh?
That
All
is
right,
the
here
call.
we go. Shot towards the net. Well, it's going over to Phillippe, but he's got to track it down right now. 16 seconds left. Phillippe, low shot. Save made there. Rebound picked up here by Othout. 11 seconds left. They got plenty of time yet. Trying to slide it back to the high slot. Moore with a shot. That one goes wide. 5 seconds left to go here. Down to 3 seconds left. Back to the point it goes. Shot taken by Moore. That one wide, and we're going to overtime. With still 10 seconds left on the power play. And O'Donovan with a shorthanded goal, his first of the season, ties this one up late. And we are going to extra hockey, free hockey.
Yeah.
Flyers had 25 shots on goal in the third period.
I thought the goaltender that came in did a fairly good job. Looks like the Seibel kid is going to go off.
He's going to go back to the locker room. It looks like his night has ended.
Yeah.
As we will have a 3-minute rest and an 8-minute overtime. The teams will switch sides, tied at 3.
Well, let's talk about the summary of the third period. Here's Jamie Pettit.
2-1, Cambridge had the lead after 2. The Flyers tie it at the 9-minute mark of period 3. 22nd goal of the season for Hayden Johnson. Single assist, Matt Phillippe. There's Phillippe working along the end boards. A Cambridge-Isanti player went down. Phillippe makes the pass and put into the net by Hayden Johnson. Of course, the Blue Jackets bench wasn't happy. They felt Phillippe should have been penalized. Play continued, and it was Johnson finishing it off to tie the game at 2. A minute and 52 seconds later, Little Falls takes the 3-2 lead. Phillippe's 32nd goal of the season. Othout took the shot. Phillippe's rebound beat Seibel, giving Little Falls the 3-2 lead. First assist Othout, second assist Johnson. But the Cambridge-Isanti Blue Jackets would tie it. It's officially a shorthanded goal as they had pulled the goaltender for an extra attacker. Kicker plays it off to the end boards. Cray tried to go to Moore, but intercepted by O'Donovan, and he's able to wing it around the goalpost into the Flyer net to tie the game at 3, and that's where we stand through 51 minutes. Shots on goal, Little Falls 52, Cambridge 27. The Flyers will start the overtime with 10 seconds on the power play.
One final to pass along in Moose Lake Country, or Moose Country, the Moose Shared Ice Arena in Monticello. Moose. Yeah, there you go. It was St. Cloud Cathedral 4, Monticello 3. And that is the final. So St. Cloud Cathedral trying to hold on to maybe that 2 or 3 spot. Right now these two teams trying to vie for that number 1 seed. As we are going extra hockey on Flyer Media Productions. Just 1 second left on the power play. The power play is in. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Hosh in net. And once again, DJ Kicker. Both the ones are in net for each team. Wraparound attempt there, and making the save is Hosh as Hayden Johnson's upended. And the faceoff going to come inside the Cambridge-Isanti end.
Well, Jason Hosch replaced Jackson Seibel with 4 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the third period. Seibel went off with an injury, and Hosch made a couple of critical saves.
He's been right there.
Yeah, he made a huge save against Carter Olthout to keep this a one-goal game, and that gave the chance for O'Donovan to get the shorthanded goal to tie it up. Here's Philippi. He's pulled down. Penalty coming up here against Cambridge-Isanti. And so back to the power play, but it hasn't worked for the Flyers as Cambridge scored a shorthanded goal.
Right.
Well, they scored shorthanded goal, but they had the goaltender pulled for the extra attacker. Now an entirely different situation.
Right.
Power play number 3 for the Little Falls Flyers. They have an offensive zone faceoff as we're just 37 seconds into the overtime.
Well, head coach Tony Kutcher called the goal is going to be Philippi. So.
Matt Philippi from the side, top shelf.
The penalized Blue Jacket, Jackson Jones.
So Jones goes to the box, and the power play coming up here for the Flyers. Let's see what they can do here, if they can finish it off in dramatic fashion in overtime. Here's Moore with a shot. Hosch with a save there. Played to the side, and it'll be picked up here by Nutt. Playing out to center ice. Intercepted by Philippi. He plays it back now to Moore. Moore back to Philippi. At Philippi comes across the line, slashed at there. Philippi goes into the corner. Puck now controlled here by Olthout in that corner. Gets it to Matt Philippi in that right side that he loves to shoot for. Gives it over now to Hayden Johnson on the left side. Hayden Johnson waiting. Gets it now into Moore. Back to Johnson. Now tried to feed it over to Philippi. Philippi has the bouncing puck picked up. Philippi now with it. Gets it back over to Hayden Johnson once again. Now over to Moore. Back now over to Philippi. Tries to quickly pass over to Hayden Johnson. Johnson being tied up there. Gets it over to Matt Philippi at the right circle. Quick shot taken there. Hosch save. Rebound in front. Picked up by Cray. Now to Olthout. Back to Cray. 50 seconds to go here on the power play. Back to George Moore. Now over to Philippi. Now to Johnson. Shot there. That off the side of the net.
Very nice.
Peter Ness time by Olthout. Cray now with it. He'll play it back now to Moore. Left side. Hayden Johnson with a shot. And
that hit the post.
That one got definitely iron. And the face, they'll say, though, it was last touched by Hosch. They're going to say it's inside the zone.
I think it caught a piece of Hosch after it caught the goalpost into the safety netting, so that keeps the face-off in the offensive zone for the Little Falls Flyers to the right of Hosch, and it looks like Olthout will take it for Little Falls.
5:55 to go here in overtime, tied at 3. Johnson able to keep it in, gets it to Moore. 25 seconds on the power play. Hayden Johnson, and that one nearly tipped in front there by Cray as he was camped out. Philippi now to Moore, over to Hayden Johnson. Johnson waiting, plays into the corner, picked up by Cray. Olthout now behind the net. Olthout actually threw it off the back of the goal. Cray now back down to Olthout, just 5 seconds left. Tied up in the corner this time. Trying to dig it out of there is Cray. Penalty time's expired. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So the Flyers unable to get something there. Centered pass out there by Philippi as they're trying to find Johnson. Back the other way now. Coming in this time with a head of steam is Andrews. He'll play it in and they'll go off on a change. Cray now plays it out. Got a man wide open down low. That's Johnson. Johnson moves in, gets to the forehand, and kind of partially fanned on it, and playing it away was Hosch, and plays it back out to center. He had Olthout on the left side, even though Olthout was covered. Now that second line out there. This is Gendro. Plays it back to Walensky. Over now to Colton Johnson with a shot. That was tipped just wide. 4:40 to go in this one. We're tied at 3. Caught in the skates here of Cooper. He'll just play it down into the corner. Touched there by All-Jets. He'll get it around the boards this time, and it's cleared out by Brown. Home run pass picked up here by Overby. Fires a shot. He scores. And Cambridge comes up with an overtime win at 4-3.
Oh, the stretch pass to the offensive blue line, and it's Overby with the game winner in overtime. What a finish. Here's the replay on Flyer Media Productions. The pass deep in the Cambridge-Isanti zone, and kickers beat high to the glove side. The Blue Jackets are celebrating on Flyer ice. They get their 14th win of the year.
So the goal scored by Oberby. Officially, that's his first of the game, but we think it's his second because he had one earlier. And it's a winning goal. And the score 4-3 in favor of Cambridge-Isanti as the Cambridge-Isanti faithful will have a fun drive heading home.
Finn Overby.
So Overby scores the goal.
And there definitely was an assist. It was a beautiful pass, and it was a pass that was near the face-off dot in the Cambridge-Isanti zone, and Overby got behind the Flyer defenseman, went in on the breakaway, and beat kicker high to the blocker's side.
Yep.
Final shots on goal, 60 for Little Falls, 28 for Cambridge, but it's the Bluejackets with the win.
Wow.
So a big win for Cambridge-Isanti, and that gives the Flyers their first loss here in section play as they'll now drop their record to 7-1 in section play in Section 5A. Cambridge improves theirself now to 8-1. And now with that win, Jamie Pettit, you'd have to believe Cambridge now has definitely the right to a possibility of the number one seed. They still have yet to play
Monticello.
They still have to play Becker Big Lake, and they still have a game with St. Cloud Cathedral coming up.
Here's the problem with the St. Cloud Cathedral game. It might be after the seeding. I'm trying to determine when the 5A seeding is. It could be the 16th of February. Cambridge and Cathedral play on the 17th. It might not matter.
So a big score at the end of the third period, a shorthanded goal by Donovan, and then the game winner in overtime, and a 4-3 win as Cambridge-Isanti has stunned the Flyers here on their home ice.
Coach, how about Jason Hosch coming into the game? In overtime, Hosch made 8 saves.
Absolutely. He was that's a very tough position.
Joining us now is the head coach. We'll grab a set here. Yeah, you get a headset tonight. Joining us now is the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, that being Joey Hanowski. And final score in this one, 4-3. And I guess, Coach, what's your reaction with the loss tonight?
It was a great high school hockey game. That's what it was.
Absolutely.
First half, they took it to us. We woke up in the third. That's what happens when you have good teams like that. You can't fall behind. Like I said, that was a fun hockey game to be a part of. We were on the bad end of it tonight, but going forward, they're going to be a tough team to face.
Joey, I thought for the most part, at least the first half of the game, that Cambridge did a really good job of keeping your first line at bay, especially not allowing them through the neutral zone. But then it seemed like it was a matter of time, and they started to get into their rhythm, and they got 2 goals in the third period.
Yeah, well, Cambridge played big boy hockey all night. We didn't. Reaching for pucks, not going through pucks. You can't just turn it on against good teams. Like I said, rather have it now, right? A good learning moment. It's a tough loss. Our guys are bummed about it, but at the same time, they played well tonight. You come into our barn like that, beat us, it's tip off Cambridge. You
had different shifts of effort. At some points, you guys were like just lights out, and then other times it's like you weren't even there.
Yeah, good teams play all the time. We don't, not right now. We're lacking some consistency. Like I said, I'm going to keep going back to it tonight. Can't just turn it on the third period and come out and hope to win. Both their goalies, I mean, hats off to their backup.
Yeah.
I mean, their freshman was great tonight, but their backup to come into a game like that, he made some big saves. Hayden had it short side. He comes over, throws a shoulder on it. So, like I said, I'm more applauding Cambridge. They came in tonight, and they earned this win. I don't care what the shots were. They earned it.
Question, Tony?
No, it was, like Joey said, good high school hockey game, and better have it happen tonight than last game of the season.
Well, Coach, in the past, you've mentioned that you didn't feel that the Flyers were physical enough. You didn't feel like they applied the body enough. Where do you think the Flyers were in that department tonight?
Better in the third. Didn't like to hit in the first and second. That's what when you play playoff hockey, and this is a playoff hockey-like game tonight, you got to go through pucks. You can't reach. We just had some bad habits, and it was bound to catch up to us. Too bad it came tonight in a big section game. But like I said, a lot of learning moments tonight. We'll fix that stuff in practice.
Well, that's the one thing that I think is important, too, is as you alluded to it right away, this loss happens in the regular season. There's plenty of time to correct what you need and get yourself prepared for probably another rematch with this team at some point down the road.
Yeah, you never know. Playoffs, we're only guaranteed one game. Once you get to playoffs, it's a one-game playoff. You win, great, you go on. Lose, you go home. That has to be our focus going forward the last part of the year, one game at a time, right? And like I said, we were doing things tonight in the first couple periods that we never done. So, like I said, Cambridge, outstanding team, well coached. They did a great job tonight.
You had 3 power play opportunities, including 1 in overtime. Do you think the Blue Jackets did a good job of defending your power play units?
Yeah, and I think the problem is in overtime too, right? Like I said, hats off to their backup. We passed up a lot of good shots. We did. We were trying to move it around. We were trying, I get it. It's worked in the past, but the cross-ice saucer pass, overtime, just keep it simple. Get pucks to the net. It's going to take an ugly one to win it anyways.
Is that something you'll have to talk about in practice then?
Yeah. First we got to become a better practice team. That's kind of what it showed tonight. We like to go through the motions and think you're just going to turn it on. So, like I said, good learning moment for us tonight. It's going to hurt us in seeding, but that's okay. I'd rather be, like I said, a learning moment now than sections.
As the guy standing next to you, losses they don't feel good, but sometimes you need them to have teaching moments in the future.
Absolutely. I've been there many a times. And many a times we were the number 1 seed, and it happened at the end of the year, and you don't want that to happen. So, like Joe said,
Joey knows that all too well, don't you, as a player?
You don't want to go there. So you want to try to play your best hockey at the end of the year, and they were in a good position in the third period, and I thought they played a lot better in the third, and hopefully that, despite the loss, that will carry over to Saturday.
All right, we got a bounce-back win, hopefully coming up on Saturday afternoon. You'll take on Mound West Taka. We wish you the best of luck at that, and thanks for coming up tonight on this one.
Yeah, thanks for Tony coming to the game, Flyer Media. Thank you guys for everything you do, and everyone have a good night.
All right, once again, that is the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. That is Joey Hanowski. And Jamie, we're about ready to wrap this one up here on Flyer Media Productions once again, but wow, what a this is maybe a preview of what we're going to see in the section.
I never thought that was going to happen at the end. I thought the Flyers came out in the third period and really played some good hockey. I've watched maybe 10 games this year, either on video or live, and I think Joe's right. If you're not practicing, great. It's hard to come into a game and feel good. But I thought they were a little off in the first 2 periods. Third period, I thought they came to play. I thought for sure that, and I think Joe alluded to a good thing, they passed up on a lot of shots. And they're just trying to get that right one that just didn't happen tonight. And we needed more. We had 60 shots, but not a whole lot of quality ones. Hats off to their goaltenders, but.
Let me ask you, obviously you coached a team that was 29-0, and this is a different team than that, but
absolutely.
When you're a team that's 17-1, sometimes do you go a little bit lax in the practice? Thinking, well, we
possibly,
Did you have that issue at all in any of your teams?
At times,
okay.
We just, my famous line was always, if you don't want to work on the mental part of the game, we'll work on the physical part of the game, and we skated. Right. So whether it's, whatever the case may be, it sometimes, and I told Joe to this earlier the week, I said sometimes kids are lackadaisical at the end of the year about practices, and you really got to bear down on what you're doing, and I was always at in the position, and what our staff felt is that we went hard all the way through it. We never tapered off at the end of the season and went light. We pushed the envelope every practice and got the most out of them. And if they were tired in game 23, then they were that much better in game 25 and 26 because we pushed them to the limit. So, if they're not having good practices, then they got to up their practice, and it's tough at the end of the game, end of the year too. We got many games, 3 this week, so it was. It was a great high school hockey game, and you could see the determination on Cambridge's face in warm-ups. You could see it in the first and second period, and then you could see it when they killed the penalty off, and what a great play that they had to finish it off.
Well, it's a great win for them because they needed some kind of a signature win, and I think that puts their signature win now, at least right now for them.
Coach, we had countless conversations during your 28 years as head coach with the Little Falls Flyers, but one thing you emphasized year after year after year, you wanted your team playing the very best come section playoff time. Yeah. Sometimes a game like this might be a wake-up call,
Absolutely.
And if you're Coach Hanowski in his first year on the Flyers bench, you're hoping that's the case.
Absolutely. You know, I've been there many a times with whether it was a loss, bad practices, a win when you played bad. But yes, it was, and then Joe's the same way. You want to play your best hockey at the end of the year, and you got to get your kids to get there, and you just keep pushing on and having those good practices and good games, and like Joe said, you got to play it one game at a time, because you never know. As you know, right on this ice, we got beat by Apollo one year, and they were the 9th seed. So just didn't have it that night. We got beat by Ricori, River Lakes twice on 1-goal games 2 years in a row. Fergus Falls beat us a couple times on our home ice when we were the higher seed. So it happens, you know, and games like this, you know, they're feeling pretty bad right now, but you know, they'll step it up. They're a good team, and I think that they'll come back.
Tony, you're a former goaltender. You were a goaltender for the International Falls Broncos. You're a University of North Dakota goaltender. How about Jason Hosch having to come into the game with 4 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the third period? Seibel goes out with the injury, and unofficially, I did the math quick, he was 14 of 14.
Absolutely, at an 81% one game that he did play. Looks like he won the game with 22 shots. You know, 18 saves. So not a great game that he played, even though he won. But that is you know, and then we got, is Seibel going to come back out?
Yeah.
And, you know, and then
it's kind of a question mark. What were they going to do?
Right, and he. What do you do? I mean, it was a great. And you don't know what kind of injury that he has, and you never know what's going to happen to him if he's going to have to go in there again.
Breck defeated Minneapolis 4-3. Now what are you going to do? Cambridge will be number 4 now. Cambridge had a nice, they have a nice team, though. They have a very nice team, and they are going to be a real threat in Section 5A.
So we talked about on Saturday afternoon that tonight could be a Section 5 semifinal preview. I believe you said St. Cloud Cathedral beat Monticello by a goal.
Yep, 4-3.
Cambridge beats Little Falls by a goal in overtime. Could those 4 teams be the last 4 standing for the Section 5A semifinals? If that's the case, could be a whale of a battle.
Well, and I had to remember that interview, and you weren't there actually, but maybe you heard it. Todd Frederick, I asked him, what about playoff hockey in Section 5A? He said basically it's a 1-goal game all the way from the beginning to the end, and it pretty much is being right on what he's saying.
2009, it took us overtime to beat Alex, and we were clearly the
best team in the state at that time.
At that time, so you just never know about what's going to happen in the playoffs, and you know, I mean, Cambridge came out. You know, I thought that. When Little Falls scored their 2 goals, I thought they completely lost their mind and lost their composure on the ice, on the bench, and I just didn't think that they were going to be able to regroup, and they did, and they got a nice goal to finish it off.
That they did.
Finn Overby gets the game-winning goal at 3:36 of overtime. We believe it was his 2nd of the night, his 13th of the season, with an incredible stretch pass from deep in the Cambridge-Isanti zone. As we have another chance to look at it here on Flyer Media Productions, it got through both Flyer defensemen, and Overby went high to the blocker's side on kicker. That's the game winner tonight as the Bluejackets beat the Flyers 4-3 in overtime. What a game, Coach.
It was a dandy.
Cambridge improves their record to 14-3 on the year. The Flyers drop to 17-2. Flyers are back in action on Saturday afternoon. They'll take on Mound West Taka. And for Cambridge-Isanti, they will take on Irondale. That on Saturday. And that's going to wrap up the broadcast tonight.
Coach, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I've been looking forward to this since you decided to retire. You went out on your own terms, which was important to those of us that have a chance to had a chance to work with you over the years.
Absolutely, it's fun to get back up here. You see so much different things than you do on the bench, you're worried about different things when you're coaching. But when you're up here, you can see things happen, and yeah, it was just a pleasure working with you. So
awesome. We'll have you back. The invite's there.
Well, good.
It's always
I'm
been
glad.
there.
I'll come up. So I'll kind of refine myself a little bit and maybe do some research and stuff. And yeah, but it's good to come up here and just kind of free it for me.
Yeah.
So
That's what people like about Tony Kutcher. That's exactly what they like about Tony Kutcher. You tell it like it is, especially when we're interviewing Danny Ryan in between periods,
right.
and you found out he was from St. Thomas Academy.
Danny
you
who?
didn't mask you didn't mask your feelings at all, Tony.
No, that was a great game for the Flyers. It was a very memorable a game for us. And
he's still standing right off camera because he's still waiting for that jersey.
We'll find him one. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Tony,
Absolutely.
for coming up. Appreciate it. Jamie, safe travels to you, and it'll be interesting. We'll have a game on Flyer Media Productions coming up on Saturday, but unfortunately, you will not be here.
No, I won't.
I will not be here, so I guess we'll have to wait and see who our
there
guest
he is, Wesley
commentator
Wojtaszek.
Wesley Wojtaszek.
We
is
handed
gonna be
off
the
to
man.
Wesley on Saturday.
And Wesley's going to have to find himself a color commentator or something. So I guess we'll have to wait on that.
And you and I will be back on Little Falls Radio Monday night from Alexandria.
Yeah, Monday night, the big rematch, of course, so that overtime come from behind 7-6 win. That is coming up on Monday on Little Falls Radio, WYRQ. That is a 7:15 drop, 6:45 pregame there. And so make sure you tune in there. But our next broadcast and Flyer Media Productions coming up in Saturday against Mount Westonka.
Great job again by our Flyer Media Productions crew. Thank you very much to the parents that provided lunch for us prior to the game. The pulled chicken, the buffalo chicken dip, the chips, and then the healthy side of the table too.
Absolutely.
Your final score in this one tonight, Cambridge-Isanti 4, Little Falls 3. For the legendary head coach Tony Kutcher,
yes,
for Jamie Pettit, and for Danny Ryan over there, I'm James Hershey saying good night on Flyer Media Productions.